is 5. Change those bets. Hold your bets. Dice out for the shooter. Easy 8. New bets. Hold your bets. Coming out. Three craps. Bet changing time. No more bets. Dice out for the shooter. The roll is 9. You want to modify?
Bets between $5 and $50,000. Lay your bets. No more bets, please. Black 31. Bets, please. No more bets. Black 26. Your bets, please.
Bets between $1,000 and $100,000. Place your bets. Player's hand is 6. Player's hand wins. Pay the win. Pay the player. Place your bets. Tie. House pays the tie bets. Place your bets. Banker's hand is 9. Banker's hand wins this round. Pay the player. Pay the win.
Bets, please. No more bets, please. Player has 5 or 15. Player stands on 15. Player has 16. Player stands on 16. Player has 13. Player stands on 13. Bank has 15. Bank stands on 21. Place your bets. Bets are closed. Player has 13. 18. Player stands on...
Wide open in the end zone! Our rematch for the KO title! Thunder. Get over. No, other way! Wrong way! No! We rolled That's Oh, huge! Oh, big cutter!
Good.
Oh! Yeah. Oh!
Grenade.
Go! Oh! Yeah! What the hell, friend? Oh, come on! What a goal! Got him! Hey everybody, welcome to What Are We Playing? Ryan Harb here along with Andy.
What's going on?
And today is the first episode of the Conspiracy Casino. This is a new series here at What Are We Playing, where we talk conspiracy and we play old casino games.
Because what's better than old casino games?
Today we're playing Caesar's Palace on PS1. And what's awesome is that we have a ton of stuff we can play. We can play roulette, blackjack, craps, slots, baccarat, which I don't know how to... Do you know how to play baccarat?
I do not know how to play baccarat, but I feel like
Here
we're going to learn.
Awesome. And then we go see the cashier.
Oh, it's
and,
management.
And
I never played that game.
Let's go to management. I never played management before. Oh, we already got people in the chat. Oh, yo, what's up? Nye, Double D in the chat. What's up, guys? How we doing? No, Double D's not here today. It's Andy with us. Computer players on, play sound, play dialogue, play ambiance.
It's options. That's a good
It's
way of
options.
doing it.
It's great. So today, episode 1
Hello again.
of the Conspiracy Casino, we will be discussing Project Paperclip.
And it's a really cool,
It kind of
really cool
explodes
topic.
into, and it's a great way to
Interesting
start
topic.
off the Conspiracy Casino, because this kind of just, it really goes into all kinds of other stuff. We know Double D loves it because eventually we'll be able to talk about some Admiral Byrd at some point, but that's down the line. So let's pick a game, play a couple of things, and we can start to talk about. By the way, at the top of the screen is a game mention. Oh yes, it's just Caesar's Palace is the name of the game. Yep. All right, let's see. What do you want to do? Roulette, blackjack, craps, slots.
Let's go down the line. Let's start off with some roulette.
We got a good strategy for roulette. Let's test our strategy.
We'll test our strategy and talk some
Top
conspiracy.
of the chat.
So,
Okay.
Hey, we got a
Paperclip
seat here
is
for you.
really
Bets between
interesting
$5
because
and
Paperclip, if you're not familiar with
Place your bets.
what Paperclip, Project Paperclip
All right,
is.
are we gonna bet the middle? Let's run the middle. All right, let's run our middle. All right, we have $1,000.
Yeah,
let's run the middle.
Run squares.
Let's run the squares. We'll run the middle like this. All right, we'll run
Do
the
some
corners.
birthdays. Do 11, 22.
We'll do some numbers on the corners here. Let's do $100 spins.
Love it. So after World War II, after the defeat of
this.
the Nazis
Take
and the
this.
Third Reich,
Take this.
the Soviets and the
15.
U.S. were in a
Boom.
very particular position where they had
$100 roulette spins to start us off, baby. Let's go.
they could either arrest these Nazi scientists
No more
or
bets,
they
please.
could
Well, they were developing some wild technology, especially in the rocket space.
and they were going to take this opportunity to their advantage, and instead of arresting these people and putting them in jail,
I can't see the
they
numbers.
used them for their own
Hit
benefit,
21.
they would say,
Oh, that's a big win.
to develop
That's a big
Place
win.
your bets.
What do we win?
To develop,
Last win,
further
270,
develop,
100. Yeah, can we run it back?
missiles, rockets, projects for interrogations,
All right, give me a number.
psycho control.
Give me a number in the chat. What
warfare
number?
control.
What number should we do in the chat? Let me know.
or do 22.
Just straight 22. Well, let's run
22.
21 because we always know that We're doing two $50 bets, 21 and 22.
Yeah, 21. Oh, 21, 22. All right.
All right, let's go. Ooh. All right.
So it was given the option for basically the Soviets, the U.S.
Lucky number 7. All right,
and
we'll come back to
England
7 next.
more
after Germany was basically splitting up into 3 by the end of the.
Yeah, so I mean, part of it was also too is that the amount of technology that they're developing on all kinds of fronts too.
Yeah.
I can't see the numbers because it's so pixelated.
Was that 81?
Red 18. Place your
Oh, we
bets.
would have kept our thing. All right,
Well, that's
so
what it is. You got to keep playing
what
the
do we
same
want to do?
numbers.
Do we want to play some thirds? Do we want
Or
to
you
play?
play third 12. We can play third 12. Yeah, the Germans were really
$100?
onto some
$200
technology
third
with
12,
developing rockets
and we're gonna do 9,
mainly the rockets. That's what the
7,
thing
and
that-
13. All right, I like it. 9, let's go. 7, 13. We'll
that was the
do
thing that was really
50
caught everyone's eye.
was the Rockets.
Were the rockets, because that was something that it was new tech. It was new tech that
It
we were
was new tech.
developing, and like the Germans were
Play
definitely
the
ahead
trick
of
I
it.
showed you. What's the trick you showed me? Send it to me. I'll look it up.
No more bets.
Text it over. We'll do your trick. We've been
If you have any additional tricks
we've been doing so many roulette
for these
tricks.
casino games coming up, let's go see them.
All right,
Put 'em
here
in
we
the
go.
chat.
Here we go. 24, I think.
Black 24. Lay your bets.
Dude, we should play. We were playing in the middle. We were doing so good. We just hit everything.
Just keep playing in the
I'm
middle.
gonna play in the middle. We're gonna keep our middle strategy. Yeah, it was all new tech. That was the crazy thing. We're just gonna go around. Let's go around the horn and see how this does. Every option that we can do, we're gonna bet. We're loading up. Let's let it roll, baby. What's our bet? I don't even know what the bet is. We did good that night.
No more
Okay,
bets.
yeah. I played the trick I showed you.
There we go. I don't even know what number. What was that? The whole middle? The whole middle 12?
The whole middle. 12 or 13 to 20 something.
Oh my God, 11. 11.
Black 11. Another win.
And we did win.
We win?
Place your
Oh no,
bets.
the computer won. All right, we can always come back and get more money. So we're gonna go $600 in the middle, every option. Well, they were doing stuff also on all kinds of technology, right? Because they were also, I mean, this dives in to what they were doing was also all the eugenics shit too, right? Is that where this kind of
well,
those guys doing that too?
They were doing. I mean, they were doing like experiments on
we
people.
can bet the second 12 too.
They were doing experiments on
We're going hard.
on captives in the concentration camps and stuff. And I mean, the Nazis themselves believed in the eugenics practice because they were maniacs. And
that
I mean, if you
goes
wanna
into
get-
all the occult stuff
they get to
too.
the occult stuff, but with Paperclip, they saw all this stuff as like the U.S. could take advantage of it because after World War II,
Well-
they already saw that their biggest opponent would be the Soviet Union.
I was gonna say if they didn't grab all the Nazis, then the Soviet Union was.
Yeah, and like, and that's what it was. And it was a toss up between the U.S., the Soviets, and England.
It's bad.
You get 5. Okay, 0.
It's like 500. It's like 600.
It's gonna be like 36 red.
All right, come on. What if you bet on everything? You basically just win your money back
Hold your bets.
because it's 1 out of 36 to hit. So then you would just basically win your money. Oh, come on. Black 20. 13.
Black 13.
Black 13. Player wins.
Oh,
Win a
1,400.
bet.
How much you put down? How much was the?
Place your
Like
bets.
500. We run it back again, same thing. Or do we want to go? I don't know. What are we thinking here? We just won $1,400.
All right, so let's do.
$400.
Let's do. I'm always down for 22. Do 11.
We just do numbers.
Yeah, do
Let's do
11,
50 bucks on a bunch of
22,
numbers.
and 29.
I like it. 11.
Yeah. And 29.
Let us know in the chat what numbers we should do here, because I'll wait, because we're not that far. We turned our leniency up a little bit. 11, 22. I like 18.
18, there you go. And 29 gets get on that third 12.
29. Let's do 2 numbers on each section. How about that? I like that. 29. Let's wait for chat to catch up. See if anybody has any.
Good.
This video game makes me want to gamble. Hell yeah, dude. It's a gambling game, baby. 36.
Hey, chat, let's see what's your favorite casino game out there.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to play today. All right, let's do one more on here. What do you think? For the first row, what do you like? 5? All right, that is Blackjack. We're gonna do some Blackjack. We're doing Blackjack. All right, we got 300 bucks on the board.
No more bets.
Let's see. This guy's got one tablet down. Blackjack's my favorite casino game. Nice. 24. I don't think we had 24.
Black 24. Place your bets.
We did not. All right, I'm gonna go heavy in the middle again, and then we'll switch it up. All right, so continue what you were saying.
Yeah. So after the war broke up, they
Well, dude, during the trials, when all the trials were going on, since the U.S. was doing this whole Project Paperclip thing, they like scrubbed their crimes.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah. There was a couple. I believe it was. I don't know if it was one or many. That they got convicted in prison, and then like they still took them out to work for the U.S. to develop, projects and things like that. And it was all for military use. So it wasn't like anything that was beneficial for people. People will justify about NASA and the start of NASA with Wernher von Braun, who came up with the V2 rocket. And then, that technology came over to the U.S.
Here we go.
And he was the head of NASA.
Head of NASA.
And
but then those guys also started JPL.
Yeah.
Jet Lab Proportions and all that.
And it's
Or Jet Proportion Labs.
And slowly the idea of
Come on, baby.
who we were fighting drifted away, and what we were fighting in World War II was
Place your
more the
bets.
focus. It wasn't that you were fighting these individuals, you were fighting an idea. So that they always justify it as these are the good Germans from the war.
I vote we bet the middle. Let's do 20 bucks on each one down the middle. If I can do anything for us, 20 bucks is nothing. Let's go here. We're gonna switch up. We're gonna go up top. 25 on each number up here, and then let's go. We're gonna go Brett. We're gonna go broke right here. We got 500 bucks. We're gonna switch it up.
Get them on there, yeah.
30 bucks each one, and then we'll play some middles.
Play some middles, play some squares.
Get all these up to 30. Boom, and now we're just gonna run the rest. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody gets a little bit of it. Everybody shares. We share with everybody. You guys get a little extra up here too. We still got some more money
Just cover it up. Just cover the whole thing.
Cover the whole board. All right, and then we're just gonna throw more on all these. Let's go. 60, 150, 140.
And this is how we play at the real casino.
Yep. All right, we got no money. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see.
1 through 12, baby.
They don't tell you how much bets are out. Oh.
They did experiments on kids
Hold
for
your bets.
20 years and got caught in the 80s and 90s and couldn't remember the number. It was over 1,000 kids.
Yeah, and that was the thing that even
double zero.
even in
Are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
Green 00.
Ah, that's
Sorry,
what you should have
but
bet on.
Can't afford this table anymore.
Can't afford this table anymore. They kicked me out. I don't know if my eyes or actually the screen. If it's my eyes or actually screen. But it looks very blurry. Yeah, dude. Sorry, it's PS1. It's just gonna be blurry. All right, can we go to the cashier? We need a loan.
Yeah. And ironically enough, when you make loans in this game, they become real loans in real life too. So
Uncle Al Dente, $0. We're gonna do. Oh, we have options here.
You can only transfer money between 2 players.
Okay, what's this? What's this do?
The memory card has not been inserted properly. Please try again.
Oh, we need a PS1 memory card.
Load a game.
All right. So what is this?
Player 2, sign in, please.
So they would
Let's do slots. I like that. Let's do slots.
So as they were like they're doing experiments on people in Germany. It was absolutely horrid and disgusting.
Well, it was also like they were. It was a weird time too because it was like the end of like, you know, because they were still doing like alchemy, and it was like this new push for all this Rockefeller, Rothschild, like, oh no, don't cure it, just treat it.
Oh, that's like with the oil companies with medicine because
we're a new player. Let's do some slots. We'll do heavy betting on slots, like max bets and shit like that. I like it.
Hello,
Let's go. We're going slots.
Best of luck.
Best of luck, you fucking bitch. You
Yeah,
don't
so
mean
that stuff with the I mean, pharmaceuticals is a whole different story with oil and everything.
I mean, that's the thing. We can have a lot of fun here on the.
Choose a machine to play.
All right, what do you like, Andy? He's fucking. We're getting bombarded with slots.
The slot machines.
Look, he's got all the slot machines in the chat. All right, we got millionaire. We got this bank thing and this one. I like this one. You want to do this one? Oh, sevens. It's blurry because it's
You need
PS1.
more money to enter. You need more money to enter. You need more money to enter.
This machine
We can't play
costs
any
a
of them?
minimum of $25 per spin.
Oh, this is.
We don't
have,
have
like,
any money.
Game over. Dude, it's PS1. Let's find some cheat codes.
Restart. Yes.
Let's find some cheat codes
Oh
for
yeah. What are we
unlimited
doing? Oh, we want. Yeah.
PS1. I know there's a cheat code out
Let's
there.
try it again. Let's try it
Up
again.
left.
We're
X
gonna
square A B
All right,
L B.
here we go. We're starting back over again.
All right. Let's be a little smarter with our money.
Let's go into slot machines and go heavy slot machines. We got smoked on the roulette
Welcome
table.
to the domain of the Emperor. We ask all patrons.
Oh yeah,
to
we have
sign in.
nothing going on, so they don't know who we are now. They're like, oh, hello.
Welcome back. We just performed a little MK Ultra on them. We made them forget.
Anything you need? Player 1, sign in.
Double D,
please.
I know that you're lurking and working and lurking here, but what do you got for us? Anything you want to add to this discussion here?
All right. So, if,
All right. We got $1,000.
So, all right. So after they brought in all the Nazi scientists,
again.
they did start
All right,
shredding their past. It's not even that they started
Best of luck.
deleting their past. They weren't putting these people up front in center. So after the war
Choose a
was
machine
won
to play.
by the Allies, this new echelon of the world is out now. You have this American superpower, allied superpower, the
$25
West,
minimum per spin.
England. Now they have full control of the world, as we call it. It was a rules-based order. And now they only saw it as the next enemy coming up, as the Soviets.
You don't have enough coins.
And
in
they
the
know
machine to make a
that
bet.
if they, like you said, if they didn't get these people, that they were going to get them, and they were going to be left behind in these next wars coming up.
We gotta add the coins. It's $25 a spin.
All right, yeah. So, make coins. Is it a quarter?
I put a bunch of it's $25.
Oh, a coin. So it's not that they didn't erase these people's pasts; they just didn't promote them, and it was very in hush hush. Like I said, I don't think Eisenhower wanted to do this plan. Roosevelt wasn't in favor of it,
Wow.
and this is kind of the stuff when Eisenhower
How did we just win? What did we just win?
resigned. He gave that military-industrial
Oh
complex
yeah,
speech.
he told everybody like
Because-
get ready. They figured out that they can make money through war.
Yeah, and not only can they make money through war, is that they're controlling it. They're the only ones who are making the war. Now they had full control.
Well, it's problem reaction solution as well.
Yeah. So and that's exactly how they saw this with Paperclip.
I once had 3 devices doing slots at the same time on 3 different gambling sites. Do I have an addiction? I mean, only if you think you do.
Only if your data plan isn't sufficient enough to handle it, then you might. Only gamble as much as your data can handle.
Oh my!
Oh, look
Oh
at that.
my gosh!
That's a big win right
Nice
there,
hit.
baby.
Okay.
Please continue. You're crushing it. Go ahead.
So there we go. I'm still on. Yeah. So they're just keeping these people out of the limelight, but everybody knew. Everyone working on the projects knew who these people were.
win, $1,500, baby.
They knew who these people were, and I mean, if you're working in jet propulsions for the DoD or in NASA, and you have to work side by side with a card-carrying Nazi, not one of these skinheads, neo-Nazis.
Well,
Like-
what was the program that was going on before NASA was created by the Nazis? Was there anything going on? I mean, obviously the U.S. was, fighting these wars and this military, but like, what was? I'm guessing there was no actual like technology that the Nazis possessed that the U.S. was going on, because this is the same time as Roswell, or no?
This was about a decade before Roswell. And so the U.S. had its own projects going on. You had the Manhattan Project, which was the bombs, and they had other projects going on. They had their own rocket projects and things like that, artillery. So all this stuff is military based to see how many people you can kill quickest and the most inefficiently way possible.
Yeah, but part of it too is understanding that, like, and I think the biggest thing was, like,
Wow, cool.
if
Good
they
for
didn't
you.
do it, then the Soviets were going to do it. And that was like, this was like kind of the beginning of the Cold War, like
Yeah.
right out of like,
It was-
right
it
out
was-
of World War II, like boom, right into the
Yeah,
Cold War, because
'cause-
there was a project that was going on that they were stealing. They were already, the Soviets were already stealing the Nazi scientists.
Yeah. So the Nazis knew that. A lot of Nazis knew. I even think Werner von Braun knew that the war wasn't going well for the Nazis, and they saw the writing on the wall.
We almost had sevens.
And they were smuggling technology. The Russians were getting Nazi technology, and so were the Americans. And the thing was that they wouldn't know how to operate this stuff or even produce it without these scientists who actually developed it to work on them. But then
Press this
then that's
button
like
to
the
bet
big question
$75 per
is
spin.
like you exonerate these people just because they develop better weapons of war than you, or do you hold them to their actions and you prosecute them for what they've knowingly done? And it's kind of disgusting that the military-industrial complex
Ew, look at
decides
that. Look
to
at that. $2,000, baby.
keep
What
them
a
on.
hit. What a hit. We're leaving. We're
That's
out of
good.
here.
Now we go back to the roulette table. And these people kept them on despite their crimes. Not only their crimes, being tried at Nuremberg and found guilty,
You don't have enough
but
coins
still,
in the machine to make your bet.
they take them and say, you're working for us now.
Drop
And
your money in and play.
the thing that I see being an issue, it's not the fact that these people are working with the U.S. government to develop weapons, but you start letting people that work with them
God, look
or in
at
other
that.
agencies saying that this behavior is somewhat approved by the U.S. government.
Well,
and
again,
by
it's
people.
a battle for who wants to do it. I don't know how to leave.
But if you're employing the worst people in the world
Here we go. Down.
at the time,
Choose another machine.
you kind of saying that, okay, this kind of stuff, we can forget about it.
Yeah.
Choose a machine
And
to play.
And I think the U.S. was saying that we can forget about genocide and we can forget about crimes against humanity because
Well, you also remember too that.
because
Where would
they're
you like to
next
go
in
next?
line to be doing these crimes.
And where does
these
it
genocides.
fall in the fact that like Germany was kind of at this point like, an enemy of the U.S. for like 25 years because of World War One as well.
Yeah.
Right. So
And-
like.
And that's how that's kind of how this that's how the
Are we
Third
going
Reich
to the,
came up.
Are we going to the craps table?
Oh yeah, let's do craps. Spend a couple hours at the craps table.
This is starting to sound like the powerful JRE. Hell yeah, that's
well,
what we're
that's
going
what
for, baby.
conspiracy casino is all about. We play some games, talk some history, and conspiracies. If you want to get into the real conspiracy theories, you can even get into conspiracy theories about the term conspiracy theory, how that started.
That's a psyop too.
which was a psyop after the CIA.
Well, look how much money we have because I hit big on the slot
what do you got,
machines. Let's
2350?
go. All right, so I think we go hard and horny here. Let's go. What?
Let's do the pass line and
All
go on
right,
the field.
All right, come on.
Bets, please.
No, pass. Yeah, on pass line and then play the field.
We can't. We gotta.
Yeah, because you already hit the don't pass. It's all right. Hit 7. Yeah, hit the field.
25 on the field, and we'll play any 7. And let's turn. Let's go here. We'll do 25 here, 25 here, 25 here, and 25 here. You like it?
Can you take? Yeah, can you take those bets off? The don't pass.
I don't know how to take bets off. It just lets me add.
just like a real casino.
Controls. Cash. Chip rack. Remove bets. Triangle. I got it. I figured it out. What do you want to take off?
Don't pass.
This one?
Yeah.
We're not on here.
Aren't those chips on there?
There's the computer's playing too.
Oh, I go on the come line. But you can't.
Can't go on the come yet. All right, we're good. Let's go.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go.
Pass line. Pass line.
Bro, I'm gonna go fucking.
Hornet and pass line. Go on the pass line.
Yeah, I get it.
Must be a multiple of 4.
Multiples of 4.
Can I make my? All right, we'll just run it around, dude. Let's run around the horn, dude. Oh, they got 3. They got. Whoa, they got 5 horns on here. Hold on, what do they got?
You got 12, the 11, the 3, the 2. Oh, they have 2.
Oh, they have 2. They have 2
2
yos.
11s.
They got 2 yos on there.
No more bets.
All right, here we go.
Dice out for the shooter.
Ooh, hard 8. Let's go.
8's the point.
You got it.
We'll take
That's
that.
good.
Judging time.
Good way to start. Good way to start. Let's throw that 8 back on.
Throw the 8 on, going to pass.
Oh, throw the hard 8 back on.
Yeah, throw the hard 8 on.
What are we doing,
Pass line.
25 on these.
Pass line, come bet.
Pass line. Can't do that.
I can't do pass line.
Do the field though. 25 on the field.
Yeah, go on. Come
What's the
bet.
come do?
The come bet goes, whatever number gets rolled out, your bet goes to that number. But it doesn't stay on after it
All right.
craps out. It comes
All
off.
right, let's go. Let's go 10 on the 9, 10 on the 6, 15 on the 6,
That's the CIA movement.
15 on here, and
Controlling my movements.
Must be a multiple of 4.
why can't I put the whole horn on there? And we're gonna go snake eyes. Let's go.
So anyway,
Yo, what is craps? I play every casino game but craps.
it's dice and betting.
It's
and
dice and betting on odds.
Time's
So
up.
basically,
Coming
you're
up.
rolling the. Here's the 30 seconds. So when you roll those dice,
Nice.
8.
Easy 8. Shooter out.
Like that. All right. So basically, the way it works, here's the 30
please.
seconds on craps, and then we'll get back to the
Go on the pass
conspiracies.
line.
So basically, you see the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. When you roll the dice, if it's any one of those numbers, that number is on. So basically, then you're running against them not rolling a 7. If you roll a 7, everything clears. You start back over again. On the right here, where it says 3, you get the 2 3s and the 2 5s. That's all one-time bets. You're betting on those numbers. That's really the 30 seconds of it. But you're basically betting to get numbers to come up as you roll the dice. All right, so we're gonna do pass line. I can't do the pass line. Why don't we do the pass line? Oh, I gotta be on this side. 25 on the pass. Let's do 25 on the come. Let's do 50 on the any 7. And let's bet. Let's go. Let's do a round of horns. 15 on all the horns. You know me. I love the horns. And then once we get a number, we'll run the hards. All right, here we go.
Time's up. Shooter
All right, so
up.
continue. You were saying
The roll is
10.
hard 10. Mark the 10.
Oh, we went on the
Change your
come on that.
bets.
Ooh, hell yeah! We just won some money. We just won some money.
Yeah, so this was all on the heels of World War I.
All right,
Yeah,
we're at 20 across.
About a
all the
decade
num-
after the
we're
first
gonna
World
play all the
War.
numbers across. 20 bucks across. We're gonna run this field. 25. on
So after World War I, Germany was in a spot where they were really crushed.
Crush, dude.
Defeated militarily, defeated nationally. Spirits were down. The country was in disarray.
Must be a multiple
They were,
of
the bad boys of Europe. So then, then
They were the bad boys of Europe.
they're the bad boys of Europe. So then, after years and years of being down, a figure comes along and starts motivating people and having a nationalist message. That's why where people draw
A lot of people.
but
we just,
situations are really different.
yeah, but can we just explain real quick, like how he came to power? Like he basically was running for office. Like that's how it started.
Yeah.
Like he was literally.
he was running for office, but it was his message that caught people's eye.
Got Scott in the chat. Yo, Andy.
Yo, what's up, Scott? How you doing? So, as he was running for office,
Hold your bets.
these people are crushed, man. Like, so he starts talking a big game, and people like it, and it motivates them. And then, he gets up, starts declaring independence, and then Germany's coming back on their feet. And so once they're up there, other things start getting motivated, and then true colors start coming out, and then I think the invasion of Poland was the first big act of his.
Yeah, but what was the purpose of them trying to take over Poland? Just to
Well,
show off, show them off, right?
Expanding,
Dice out for
Germany
the
and the Third Reich, and I think he had some, it's.
The result.
I'm not big with European
Yo,
politics
11.
Yo, 11.
or history of European politics, but I think there was some personal beef between him and Poland. So besides exterminating a lot of people there.
Yeah, but part of it too is understanding, like, during this time, this was all like, a lot of secret society shit going on too in the background to control this. Like, my favorite thing is like, during World War II, like the Rothschilds basically had spies that found out that Napoleon had lost the battle against the British, and they ran back and basically started selling all their stocks, and basically everyone thought that Napoleon had won the war, and then the Rothschilds came in and bought everything for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I was like,
Wild shit. That's real. That happened.
That was like the
more bets.
Battle of Waterloo, I think
Dice
it
out
was.
for the shooter.
Yeah, and that's
Up
was it the Rockefeller or the Rothschild? Yeah, the
Rothschilds.
Easy four.
Yeah, and that's and then that's how you get into BP and like British Petroleum and oil companies and this and that. But after Hitler became with the rise, if you were in the German government or were associated with any party, like you didn't have a choice. Like you were part of the Third Reich if you liked it or not, and because that's just what it was. This was the new, the new
Well, it was
ways.
Democrats and Republicans, basically what it was.
No. It
But
was,
at that point, when it became the Third
there
Reich,
wasn't an option.
well, that's what I mean. But before that, it was like he was basically
there was multiple parties.
Yeah.
But even those are fragmented through European control and
Hold your bets.
old factors.
Shooter
Gotta go, guys. Have an amazing day. Thanks, Nye. Appreciate you hopping in, buddy. We'll see you maybe Monday. Witcher. I'm playing some Witcher.
Change those bets.
There's a good one. Always up from Witcher. But they may be going on the same old, and like World War One stuff is really deep because that's like Ottoman Empire, and you're going with dynasties and stuff. So as the Nazis like assimilated all of Germany,
Time's up.
you didn't have a
Dice out
choice,
for the shooter.
and that's kind of where like Paperclip, when you see Paperclip for what it is,
6.
You wanna modify?
you they spun it as like these were like the good Germans that were coming in to the country, but it's not like they left Germany when it happened, because there's a lot of people, because Einstein
Yeah, they did not
is
leave. They
also-
did not leave. That was the
Einstein
craziest
was
part.
from what, Austria,
Austria. The nuclear
And-
bomb shit.
and he left, and he's probably one of the most famous scientists in the world today.
That's just the wind blowing doors.
Okay. So it's not like these people couldn't leave because they could left, because there are scientists who did leave. So as these people are assimilated into
The roll
the
is
U.S.
5. We'll take
the
that.
U.S. Projects on what they're
I'm
doing,
gonna go fix that door. Yeah,
they
keep
do
talking.
they do motivate and greenlight these ideas that it's okay, and I think that's and that's a morality thing. That's not like is it a good idea to have who's going to win this battle? Because if it really is important, you're going to win anyway if it's the next war against the Soviets. But if you want to sacrifice your morals and values, especially in America, where we're supposed to be the land of liberty and justice and all that good stuff, and we're employing despicable people like Nazis, like Indiana Jones, World War II Nazis, and try to justify it. And that's the thing, they try to justify it with, if we didn't do it, the Russians were going to do it. That's the big. And you're gonna justify it with more murder and more killing, and then you see this downward spiral of this. And that's gonna start a downward spiral of just, if this is what you're starting off with, this new superpower of the
it's
U.S.
literally SS.
Yeah, if this is like the start of the U.S. superpower after World War II, and you're starting it off by mixing it with Nazis. So this shit is someone took a shit in the punch
But those
bowl
people are
from the
still
start.
part of the government today.
Well, a lot of those programs are the foundation of the government today,
Which is
and
wild.
that's federal government, and it's a lot of Department of Defense.
Come on, give us
DoD
some
stuff.
give us some snake eyes. Let's go. Give me a
That's
good horn roll.
Way in the background, there are these operations that are being
Coming up.
pressed upon the public unwillingly, and a lot of those. Oh, that's a nice.
Grabs.
Of course.
New bets?
But a lot of those programs do trickle down to the public in the form of things like fertilizers and childcare and medicines we take and preventative medicine
So
from birth.
what do you mean by that? So explain that a little bit.
By just how these things are developed by controlling people. We put fluoride in the water. Who was the first person to put fluoride in water? It was the Nazis, because it makes people more docile and
It also
easier to control.
corrodes your third eye as well too,
And
and
it
they don't want
calcifies your
we
pineal
don't
gland.
want people to have like, come on, 7 out. Fuck.
7. Bad luck, shooter.
But this is and that's some woo woo stuff, and you can go on the woo
Just
train
pick
with
up the
that,
big
and
control.
but
Way to go.
the more science comes out now,
That's zero.
especially now, you're finding out that a lot of this stuff, a lot of conspiracy theories are true, and the ones that are the most bizarre ones can be kind of bizarre, like flat Earth. And how can you have a conspiracy theory on flat Earth, but also have a conspiracy theory with as much momentum behind it as
Place
Hollow
your
Earth?
bets.
They're two completely opposing conspiracy theories, but they have a lot of momentum behind them. Like to say, I'm more of a Hollow
I'm
Earth
a Hollow
guy
Earth
than
kind
a
of
flat
guy
Earth
than a
guy.
flat Earth kind of guy.
Because Hollow Earth has
we
a
go.
lot more evidence.
How about the guy? How about the guy in New Hampshire that was putting less fluoride in the water?
And what, his teeth fell out, right? Because fluoride is
Yeah,
there for the American
bullshit.
Dental
Get the
Association.
fuck out of here. What a crock of shit that is, dude. Unbelievable. Like, all right, so if it's good for
Well, they
if it's good
did-
for hold on, if it's good for your teeth, then why do you shower in it, cook your food in it, wash your clothes in it?
Because it's
Because-
yeah, exactly. It's this one thing for your teeth, but
All right, we're gonna
how much water do you
100 bucks on the
use
cum line, dude.
besides drinking water?
$100 on the cum line. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do $100 on the cum line, and then we're gonna run $100 bets on the horn all the way around. $60. Let's do. Oh, remove that. $60 around the horn. What do you say?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So a lot of these programs that they
All right, I
they
like
help
this.
start with these
Come on,
Nazis
shooter, come
coming
on,
into the
shooter.
US are still foundation programs for things that we do today, things like the NSA and the Patriot Act that were passed.
Lost
And a lot of
everything.
New bets?
And
I
a lot
lost
of
them
it
all.
isn't for good reasons. Like, and that's the thing. I'm all about innovation. I'm all about reaching the fringes of humanity, of intellect, and things like that. But when it is when it's projected on it with malice intent and like diabolical thinking,
Yeah, but think about
That-
like what happens if the Russians get them.
Time's up.
Okay.
Shooter up.
I'm just saying in general, like what does that look like if
The
the
result
fucking another 5
5.
getting
It's-
smashed here with 5s and 6s?
to me, that is, like I said before, to me that's more of a moral thing, where we tried to play both sides of the coin, where we're like, we took these Nazi scientists because they were the good Germans, when Joseph Mengele is in no way a good
No
German.
bets.
Wernher von Braun
Dude,
is in
they
no way a
gave
good German.
Von Braun like trophies.
Yeah.
7.
There's
Yeah,
there's
Fuck.
freaking,
7 out.
Place your bets.
They gave him in like 1975. They gave him like the science trophy.
the Walter Schreiber Award.
There you go. Is that what it is? The Walter Schreiber Award.
And he was the head of like the biological defense of the Nazis, and we brought him into the U.S. and now we give people the Walter Schreiber Award. And this dude is like the biggest piece of shit. Like,
And it's like, yes, he was a Nazi scientist. You hear that, but you don't understand that they ran these factories, right? And they were running all kinds of like, first off, cheap labor through everybody, and it wasn't
not cheap labor, slave
or
labor.
slave labor.
They're
rather.
running slave labor.
I mean,
okay. I'm sorry, it wasn't Walter Schreiber. Walter Schreiber was outed as a Nazi, and then he fled the U.S. and he fled to Argentina.
Oh, that means what's what I'm modifying? All right, 9.
Because Argentina, it was the Nazi safe haven, which I think it just came out that Hitler.
They all went there.
Hitler was. They confirmed that Hitler was alive and retreated to Argentina and was not killed in the bunker. And
No,
that was,
dude.
Well,
have you seen the town in Argentina that looks like baby Germany?
Well, and then the skull they have in
Here we go.
Russia, they say is
they
Hitler's
bypass.
skull.
Yeah, they bypass all the Nuremberg trials. Read that list of the guys that were on that list that we have. We printed a couple cheat sheets out. Read that list. All those guys were not part of the fucking Nuremberg trials. All right, we're going
Walter
Blackjack,
von
baby.
Braun, Arthur Rudolph, Kurt Dubos, Virtuous Stronghold. I would have fucked up their names just because not to give them any honor. Walter Schreiber, Herman Orberth.
Any bets?
And it has a little breakdown of kind of who they were. If you want to give.
Yeah, and it says that he wasn't. Yeah, he's still part of the SS. Oversaw the V2 product and stuff.
Let's go.
Reinhard Glenn.
No more
Glenfuck.
bets, please.
Oh, I like how our
Magnus von Braun. These are fucking cool names.
Oh my God! Look at it's very hard to see the cards.
Greg Rickhay.
Oh, double down.
Player stands on.
I still understand.
I like it.
I don't know.
Player has
It's and these are calls that
Player stands on
thank God I don't have to
15.
make on
Player has
bringing
5
in
or 15.
the worst of the worst of people. It's like the Suicide
Player
Squad.
stands on 14.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that they brought in these fucking people,
These bad guys to be good guys.
to be good guys, and
Bank
they
stands on
glorify it.
18.
But like I was saying, like the U.S.
Game
was
of
trying to
Lost.
be on both sides of the coin, where they say like, oh, these are the good guys, good Nazis, and blah blah blah, and they're not. These guys are in no way, shape, or form quote unquote good Germans.
Oh my God.
But then we have this big thing about how our own Nazis are. The
Let's go. We
villains in
double down on that
movies.
too.
And then we go, and then we, you know, I'm sure there is a huge sect of Nazis in the U.S. government today, as we see, even before Trump. I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about
No,
this
we're not
is-
talking
I'm not
about
talking about any of that
bullshit.
crap.
Everybody walk around saying this guy's a Nazi.
I'm
that guy.
talking about
like legit guys that were part of the Nazi regime.
that wholeheartedly believe in it. And I know there's neo-Nazis and stuff. There's always going to be neo-Nazis and stuff. And that's an idea. You can't defeat an idea. But these people are being employed knowingly that they're just awful.
All right, here we go. Got some good shit in the chat here. So, have you seen the footage? They cut the lamppost in Berlin to land like a C-130.
Oh, yeah.
And they found a tunnel from the bunker to the Capitol and the airport, and there's no way he was killed in the bunker.
Yeah.
Not a fucking shot,
Yeah.
dude. Not a shot.
Nah, and that's it. And I think
we should run through this list here a little bit and just kind of go through some of these guys here, right? So, like, we'll start at the top here. So, Von Braun, right? So, you know, he was a chief architect for the V2 rocket, okay? But this is why he's kind of important. Okay, play some craps. Or they're playing blackjack, but you can back out if you want. Triangle goes out. You can do what you want. Leave game on the bottom. All right, he was the father of the modern rocket of rocket science, instrumental in getting the U.S. to the moon, which was again part of the issue. And he was an SS officer. His V2 used slave labor, causing tens of thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
Hold on.
bets with
Klaus
$5
Schwab was
and
raised by the Nazi soldier. There you go,
Klaus
dude.
Schwab, big old Klaus's dad was a big
He
old
was
Nazi.
he was raised by an SS soldier. Yeah. No. What did he say? You will own nothing and you will like it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's where like
Wait, what was his book during COVID? It was the we're gonna enslave you and shut the fuck up.
yeah, exactly, and that's like how this shit goes, man. Like it's not the idea. They don't do like the Nazi stuff anymore, but it's the ideology, and
that's what it is. They're not going to be rolling around doing the fucking Gestapo walk and going door to door. Your papers, your papers. What they're doing is all the shit that's still going on in the background.
Dice out for the shooter.
All right, let's keep going. So then we got Arthur Rudolph, right? So the V2 production manager, later project manager for NASA's Saturn V rocket. Why he's important. He helped the Saturn V become possible, later accused of war crimes tied to forced labor, left the U.S. under pressure in the 1980s. So he was here till the 80s. And they were like, this guy is kind of fucked up.
Dude.
And they're like, no, he's fine.
dude, you're a Nazi.
Dude, it's just Artie.
The roll is.
Hold on one second.
3 craps.
All right, got the
Shooters
field
high
there.
and dry.
Yeah,
Place your bets.
Klaus Schwab was dad was Nazi. Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger's dad was a Nazi.
Nazi too. He literally had like SS gear on like at the Oscars or some shit one year, right?
Yeah, he had the
keep
belt
forgetting
buckle. He had the
belt
SS
buckle, yeah.
belt buckle on. It was my daddy's.
He was also the governor.
Who was my daddy and what did he do?
He was a Nazi.
Oh.
He was a Nazi. All right, let's keep going. This is fun. All right, so then we also have Kurt
Hold your
Debus. He was an electrical engineer and SS officer specialized in rocket launch operations. Why he's important. Became NASA Kennedy Space Station's first director and oversaw Apollo launches.
That's right. Because
What the fuck?
because when you get into these
Who is this?
realms of
Schwarzenegger's dad.
wait, who's that?
Oh,
Who's that guy with the launches?
that is Kurt Debus, D-E-B-U-S. And then we have Herpetus Strughold, right? So he was a German physician and
Coming up.
a medical researcher. Why he's important. Called the father of space medicine. Helped develop U.S. space flight medical protocols. Accused of involvement in Nazi human experiments, but never was formally charged.
Never was formally charged, and like
No more bets.
it's
Coming out.
the human experiment part is just
That's a whole
absolutely-
episode. That's a whole episode. Just
Yeah.
all the eugenics and shit. Dude, and then we get into all them developing and creating the human animal hybrids. And they were creating monsters, dude. Like legit monsters. And like combining animals together, like putting like, you know, long legs on and this and like
yeah.
you know.
Well, they didn't see any of the people in the concentration camps, the Jewish people, the Romanian people, anybody that was from Africa,
Place your bets.
anybody with disabilities. They saw them. They didn't see them as people. You know, they saw them as less than.
Dude, this gets better. It just gets better, right?
Yeah.
So here's Walter Schreiber, right? So Schreiber was a medical officer linked to the to Nazi biological warfare and experiments. You know why he's important. Worked for the U.S. Army on biological warfare defense. Later exposed and fled to. He fled to
Ooh,
Argentina.
Argentina. There we go.
Easy 6.
And that's the common denominator.
Fucking nuts. All right, it keeps going. We got about 10 like important people. Okay, here we got chat going on. 1,500 German and Austrian professionals and their families were relocated to the United States. The majority of them going on to become U.S. citizens. Okay. Next, Herman Oberth, a physician or hold on, I can't read.
Easy 8. Change those bets.
He was a physician and a pioneer in rocket science, mentored under von Braun. Why he's important. One of the founding fathers of the rocketry, indirectly shaped both Germany and the U.S. space program, though less political than the other guys. His work influenced the V2 and NASA era designs. So this is basically like von Braun's protege.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Great.
yeah. So
And
like,
some of these guys were young when they got brought over here. They were in like their mid.
yeah, and that's like the
so
thing.
they might still be alive. Well, probably not. But
a lot of them are
they
dead.
have families.
They do have families, and I'm sure a lot of them are living in the U.S. And there's a ton of people living in Austria or Argentina, and like you said, like they have towns down there that are full German towns.
Dude,
that,
they have one town. Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy did that show called Finding Hitler. It was a 3 seasons, and the last season of Finding Hitler is basically he goes down to this fucking town in Australia and Argentina, and Argentina is a very South American country, except for this one. It's like going to Chinatown in Philly. It's like the same thing, but it's Germany.
Yeah.
Like the architecture doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and but it's just what it is, and you wonder why Argentina, and it's like it was close to Antarctica, and that's why it was Argentina. Let me get this headset on.
All right, so then we have Hans Kammler. He was an SS general, oversaw V2 production and the concentration camp labor division. Why he's important. Controlled advanced weapon programs, including V2, jet aircrafts, and rumored secret projects like Die Glock. I think we'll talk about that in a minute. We have some notes on that too. Disappeared in 1945 under mysterious circumstances. Some speculate he was captured by the U.S. He just disappeared in 1945.
And given a nice house in Rhode Island.
Yeah, your name is not Hans Kromler. Your name is Harry Claimer. Harry Claimer. Oh, yes, my family grew up in Boston. I can't do a German accent, but you hear it. All right, and then we have Ron Gonlin. He was part of, he was the intelligent chief of the Eastern Front and recruited by the U.S. to form the Guilin organization, which became the nucleus of West Germany's intelligence agency. His network provided Cold War intel. We got 10 intel on the USSR. So they brought him over because he was the head of the intelligence agency for Germany, and basically all the intelligence that they had now the US had on Russia.
And
Change your bets.
all the tunnels, here we go. The series that Tim was insane. It was absolutely incredible. All the tunnels, the fact that they fled to Spain. After moving to Huntsville, Alabama in 1952, Braun became a technical director, later chief of the U.S. Army Ballistics Weapons Program.
there you go.
What the fuck?
Because it's the war. It's the military industrial complex. The more people you kill,
Now,
the more money you
Here we
get.
go. I guess this is his brother, Magnus von Braun. So he was the younger brother of Warner, also part of the German rocket team, worked with the U.S. rocket efforts alongside his brother, and contributed to the U.S. Army missile projects. Where the fuck did he go?
At least they kept it in the family.
Yeah, right. And then last on our list, we did like the top 10s. And then we have Gregory Rickey. He was the director of the Middlework V2 project, V2 production facility. Directly oversaw production of the V2 rockets using slave labor brought to the U.S. but was later tried and acquitted for war crimes in the Dora trial, which I don't know about the Dora trials, D-O-R-A. We just hear about Nuremberg, but I guess there was a shit ton of other trials that were going on.
Yeah, because these people are. I mean, because they cleared them out in the '80s as well, and they're always looking for them. That there was that guy up in Canada just the other last year. They were awarding him and they were applauding him in Parliament. He fought against. They were applauding because he fought against Russia in World War II with like the Weiferheisen or something, whatever his squad was called, which is a Ukrainian squad. And then you look into it, and then like they fought alongside the Nazis, battling Russia, but no one like did that, and they gave him two standing ovations in the Canadian Parliament, and like,
dude, that was recently. That
was
like
last year.
That was last year.
And like the news, they just gave it the general overtone of, oh, he fought against Russia in World War II, and like some people were like, wait, who fought against Russia in World War II? And then you look, you're like, oh,
wait a minute,
because the Russians were with hanging out with the Americans in the beginning, and then turned against them, or we started getting beef in the end.
I got some good quotes here. You're getting beat up on this table, buddy.
Oh, I know.
Getting beat.
I'm not.
You are getting fucking beat up. All right.
I'm doing little bets.
Excuse me. Here's some quotes, right? So here's a quote from von Braun. When questioned about building weapons for Hitler, von Braun famously said, "My concern was always rockets, not where they landed."
Time's up.
He was
There you
arrested
go.
by the Gestapo in 1944 for de-fascist talk when he expressed more interest in space travel than military applications.
So the Germans were only concerned about military, and bringing them into the U.S. after Paperclip shows you where the U.S.'s mindset was. It's showing you how America flipped from this land of the free, home of the brave kind of attitude to this military
So
industrial.
much money could be made because then we can take all that technology and then we can sell it to the rest of the world. That
Well,
was
it's
the
not.
big
It's
part
about
of it.
taking over the world. It's about having this hard/soft power across the world. They won the war. They won the war of the world because the Germans were fighting for the world, and the U.S. won that war.
Well, the
Now
U.S.
the
also
U.S. won
the
world.
U.S. was also ready to get into that war, and they were just like, "Oh no, oops, you guys
Oops.
bombed Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor."
Yeah.
Now here's the other
exactly.
thing too, and it's like obviously Hitler was awful, and the Germans and the SS were insane, but it gets kind of overshadowed on how horrendous Hirohito was in Japan. Japan was, dude, Hirohito was ruthless in Japan.
Bombs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Insane. Here we go. But Americans are wrong for saying we don't want more money going to Ukraine. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, and that's just like, that's just the game, man. That's the game. There's no. It's always going to be played. It's always been played from the beginning. This is the game of the world.
Well, and it all starts, and this will probably be a full episode that we'll do at some point, but it all starts with Adam Whitehouse, and all the creation of the Illuminati, and the families, the 12 families. We're gonna get so demonetized for everything, but it's okay. We don't care anymore. It's crazy, dude. So here we go. Here's some stuff from author Rudolph, right? Oversaw. Oh, we did that. Production after his life. So author Rudolph. So after
Boom, got the field.
later in life, on the war crimes investigation, he voluntarily renounced U.S. citizenship and left for Germany in 1984.
Yeah. Because, these... If you're a German and you come over to the U.S. under Paperclip, it's not like your sins are forgiven.
Oh, hey, good morning. How's it going? Just out here cutting the grass. It's Artie from next door. Great guy.
It's Artie. Yeah. Addie. Oh, that's a nice name. But these people know what they've done, and they know that they're living in these shadow lives.
My biggest question, what pushed Hitler to take the stance he took? No one can answer this because it involves the banks. Exactly. Well, I mean, the banks were funding both sides of every war, like they always have. Every war. And it's all it's just the
Smedley
Fed
Butler said it. War's a racket. You know about Smedley Butler?
I don't.
The
Please.
most decorated person in the military, U.S. history. like 1800s or whatever, 1800s. So he was, I think it was like maybe after the Civil War, maybe even a little later. But he was like their go-to guy. So when they start doing all these invasions to the U.S. in like the early 1900s, late 1800s, they start doing the invasions and stuff. And they would send Smedley Butler and his team, and he would be the ones that take over Laos and these little countries that they wanted to get interest in. But he quickly saw that it was all a ploy for the banks and military and control and power, and he figured out that war is a racket. And I think he wrote a book on it, and that's what it's called. War's a racket.
Well, it's all about controlling, the narrative too, right? Because back then it was so hard for information to make its way around, unlike today, right? So like you could corrupt. What do they say? The lies run 10 times faster than the truth, and by the time truth gets there, no one believes anything.
And that absolutely what goes on say. It's like if
they moved into Germany and started to collapse the German dollar in the 1930s. Hitler kicked them out, and World War II started.
Yeah, because he had his plan. He had a plan, and that's the thing. Like, if Hitler wanted to get the central banks out, that's cool, because central banks, banks don't need to be monetized throughout the world, because then you have another powering system on it.
Well, that's what the IMF is too.
Exactly, but that doesn't mean that Hitler's plan was any better than the bankers' plan. I mean, like, the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. So it's like, oh, you're just a worse enemy. And then they're like, okay, well, what do you want? The pile of shit, or do you want the turd sandwich? Like,
giant douche or the turd sandwich.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what it is.
So let's keep going. There's some good ones here. So here's another one from this is from Kurt DeBus. All right, personally led launches of the V2 test rockets when appointed to Kennedy Space Station. When he was appointed as the Kennedy Space Station director, his SS affiliation was publicly unknown until decades later. So, like in the 70s, they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
Wait a
What's
minute.
that big old scar on your face?
All right, Herbert Strughold, right? The U.S. Air Force named a space medicine library after him in the 1970s. It was quickly removed. It was quietly removed in 2013 after.
12 craps.
So it's like 40 years of this Nazi's name on the side of the building.
And
hold on. So in 2013, after renewed of his, which was then found out about his Nazi ties, accused of overseeing low pressure altitude experiments on prisoners in camps.
Low altitude experiments. So that means that they probably strap people to like folding chairs and put balloons on them and just carry them up in the ionosphere and see how long they can
What happens?
survive.
Do they explode?
Let's find out.
Low pressure and altitude experiments.
Yeah. So
What the
that's what I'm
fuck?
saying. Like, so as they're going through these lands and taking over these freaking countries and decimating people, they don't see these people as people. They call them animals. They call them, they're dirt. They're not even people. And you see this rhetoric today being used in certain parts of the land on a certain type of people from another certain type of people. But they figured that they could use any of these people in concentration camps as experiments because they weren't
it's just
people.
easy. It's just like a pound of cheese.
Exactly. And that's where the whole, Aryan, superiority stuff comes in.
All right, ready? It gets better. Ready?
Yeah.
Walter Schreiber served as a witness at the Nuremberg trials, later fled the U.S. after being accused of helping human experiments with infectious diseases. Disappeared to Argentina, resurfaced in 1952 via media reports.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Is it Uncle Adam? All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back, everybody. We'll see you in 2. right, so I'm gonna get back to my list here as you go through. You're gonna play a little bit more. All right. Oh, you just killed our sound. Hold on. You're good. You just pulled the plug out. All right, so let's keep going. Andrew's getting smashed here on the roulette table. We got Adam off camera here too, so you might hear Adam yelling in a little bit. All right, so where were we at? All right, George Rickey. Okay, he was in the U.S. Rickley worked as a on one of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. During his war crimes trial, a former slave labor tested Rickley watched prisoners be accused of sabotage. Oh, sorry. My ink ran out, so like the the ink on the paper is like gray.
Okay.
So it's a lot harder to read when it's like bluey gray.
You know where they got printer ink from, right?
The Nazis. All right, so Rickley watched executions of prisoners accused of sabotage. He was acquitted. He was acquitted.
So it's excusing their crimes so the crimes can be committed in the future by the new organism. And it was coming up that the U.S. was going to be this new organization, and these are crimes that you see in like Iraq and things like this that people will never be held accountable for.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's crazy, dude. I mean, like, you know, just all the Dick Cheney stuff and all those guys, they were around in the 70s as well, and then they just popped back up with Bush and Bush's father and Prescott Bush and all the stuff all the way back here in the 40s. The Bushes were involved with this stuff.
Yeah. Prescott Bush was into, I believe it was steel and some oil.
He worked directly with IBM to develop the technology for the barcode system for all the prisoners at the concentration camps. And
he also used concentration camp labor.
And his son and grandson were president of the United States. And you know, Herbert Walker Bush, which a lot of people don't realize, was the director of the CIA.
House pays the line.
He was, and he's suspected to be associated with the Kennedy assassination.
Unbelievable.
But you won't see those in the documents that are released.
No. All right, so here's another guy, Hans Kromler. Also, when he moved to America, he was known as Harry Kramer.
You know, give that American spin on
Harry Kramer, that's me.
How
so
about
glad to be part of the neighborhood.
How about those birds, right?
Yeah, go birds.
Go birds.
All right, so he was allegedly orchestrated the destruction of Nazi rocket facilities to prevent Allied capture. Disappeared mysteriously, and there are claims that he brokered a deal with U.S. intelligence in exchange for advanced technology secrets. So the U.S. so he's probably running like a, who's going to pay me more money, the Russians or the Americas?
And you have to think, a lot of these people that are in high power in the Nazi offices, at some point they're going to be seeing that the war's not going their way. And like we were saying before that,
what happens at that point where
they're
they're like
sneaking out this tech?
They're like, yeah, like who are the guys that like figured it out like 8 months out? They're like. But now here's the problem: is that it was not like that though. Like the Germans were ready to take London, and it was like literally a 10-minute window from this thing in London where they were gonna this battle. It was
that's where
very close.
The V2 rocket, you know, had devastating effects.
Oh yeah,
in London. Well, let me do on the pass line. Oh, there we go. Whoa, I can think clearly now for some reason. I'm gonna do my taxes.
Here you go. So here's Hermann Oberth. So von Braun called Oberth the father of space travel.
Yeah.
You lost your hat, bro.
5G rays must have knocked it off.
The father of space travel. In his book from 1923, The Rocket into Planetary Space, inspired generations of rocket scientists, including both German and Americans. But, I mean, that's pretty wild. I wonder what that'd be an interesting book to read. From 1923. You're all jacked up, dude. You look crazier. You look crazier than you should be.
Creates the point.
Oh, we got 8.
But imagine how wild. I wonder what technology or what he was saying in that book, right? Like, it's got to be very interesting.
Well, if it was from, what, 1928?
1923.
1923. I'm sure it's going to be things that we don't understand. I mean, I don't understand
They're like-
how to program the VCR clock, so I'm not going to understand a rocket book from 1920. I don't know why I just won't let me get on the pass line. Yes, we got some craps advice.
Yes.
You should learn how to play really, like not just pick the most random.
Well, I was playing the field.
You're doing a don't pass with a pass. So we go
Well, no. They're not my bets, so the computer's playing too.
Oh, okay. The Dewey don't, the don't come. You had a box number 4, then the don't come goes on the 4, then your 4 gets white because the number rolls.
So Adam is off camera, and Adam is a
Yeah.
big craps guy. So Adam's giving Andrew some advice as he's playing.
So this is all the computer right here.
We're green, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you should have seen us in. We hit like 1,500 slot spin. Yeah, dude, we killed it.
So it won't let me go. It won't let me go on the pass line.
Does it have like a baccarat on here too?
Yeah, there is baccarat. We don't know how to play. Oh, you can.
Time's up. Dice out for the shoot.
No pie gal in this, but
poker,
I
right?
can get Caesar's Palace 2,
The roll
and then there's Caesar's Palace
is
2000.
Easy 8. Player wins.
Hit again.
I got poker's when I'm gonna learn how to play. 7
All right.
cards,
Bets are open.
5 cards, 2 cards, a 5-card hand and 2-card hand.
Yeah, there's no poker on here. There's no. I do have Do I have high stakes casino? Hold on, everybody. We're gonna do some live looks for real quick here. High roller. I think it's high roller.
Tune
It's
in.
not a-
Live looks.
It's not a great game, but it's got a lot of good games on it. And you can like walk around the casino. It's kind of weak.
No more bets. Coming up.
Oh, PS4. Yeah, it's terrible, but the games are great.
Alright, we'll put on
But the
that field
walk
bet.
around and the animation is
I
just
get
not
it.
great.
You want to modify?
All right, this is interesting, right? So Magnus von Braun, which is Warner von Braun's younger brother, I think, he was the first German rocket team. He was the first of the German rocket team to surrender to American forces in May of 1945.
Yeah, because these people, so they still have their prestige and their social clout that they don't want to lose. Because I mean, they may be Nazis
Oh,
and
it gets better, right?
they don't want to sacrifice their scientific.
They're
They're still scientists.
They're still scientists. So
and just like academics,
he surrenders in 1945 and then actively negotiates to hand over all their information to avoid Soviet capture. And then he worked on the U.S. Redstone missile systems with his brother.
because I'm sure that they know that it's easier to work with the Americans than it is with the Russians. Because the Russians,
Absolutely, that's a great point.
Because the Russians would hold them to their crimes, and the Russians would make it so either help us out or die.
Or die.
And the Americans are saying, help us out.
Oh, we got a nice
or-
house for you.
The Americans go, help us out or go to Argentina.
And they're like,
And they're like,
they're like,
all right.
can we do both? They're like, you probably can.
Can
but
we
you
do
gotta
both?
hang here for like 12
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
And then you can just kind of disappear.
And that's the thing that
And we'll be like, we don't know where he went.
the Americans sacrificed their morality for power. And that's when they made the deal with the devil. That's when the deal was fully done. Because it didn't matter if the Nazis won or not, because the Nazis still won. Because we just brought them in.
But see, now here's the other thing too, and like this
Brought 'em
guy
in.
right here, right? So Genlin basically handed over troves of Soviet intelligence to the U.S. for exchange for protection and funding, and his spy network was so
And snitches now.
valuable it became the core of West Germany's intelligence services, and basically became like probably early versions of the FBI and CIA with all the intelligence that they had.
Yeah, and
That's the other
look,
thing. It's not just. I mean, yes, it's the rockets and all that stuff, but it's also all the
No,
intelligence.
it was
It was all
MK
the-
Ultra was a huge one because that's when they
Oh,
figured out how to
dude,
do.
they-
Mengele had all the experiments.
That was all their eugenics programs, and that's when MK Ultra really started.
Yeah. And then there was there was things with the vaccine guy and their Surgeon General, all the top head Nazis, that they were still smart German people, and we wanted to take advantage of it.
But they were all about population control and all that craziness too,
But
and how to like they wanted to like mutate like people to then make them like I don't even know.
Yeah,
dude.
bring them aboard. Yeah, Harry. Yeah, bring them up. Like, yeah.
All right, here's some good quick fact stuff, and this is just kind of notes that we printed out because there's so much we had to like write it down. It's just too much shit to make sure that mic's close to you there.
Okay.
So you know it was Project Paperclip was recruited 1,600 German scientists.
How many?
1,600 plus.
I saw a number 9,000.
Plus. 9,000.
9,000 German. Well, maybe
Insane.
1,600 scientists, but it wasn't just scientists that they pulled out.
No, it was everybody. I'm going to go over that in a little bit too because I have some more facts on that too. So it was, you know, yeah. So it was really aimed to prevent the Soviet capture of German expertise. Again, we've talked about this like the whole time. Operation Overcast was the original name. We talked about that too. That's pretty cool. Operation, well, not cool, but they changed the name of it to Overcast.
Yeah.
The OSS predecessor to the CIA orchestrated parts of it too.
Yeah, and they had issues with the president. I don't know if it was Eisenhower or Roosevelt at the time.
It's probably Roosevelt. Yeah, it was Roosevelt.
Signing off on it, because
well, he rolled with the Soviets, though.
He had a backbone, but he also had a backbone, and to greenlight the Nazis into the government
is crazy. It's crazy. They let 9,000 Nazis into the U.S. government, and we're just like, we can trust them now.
Well, they yeah. It wasn't about trusting them. It was about getting the power. It's about, you know, it's they lost.
So
lost
the Soviets ran Operation Osvenkaimen, seizing 2,200 Germans. So they had already started the same thing. The U.S. and the Russians were both like, well, who gets dibs on all the tech and all the intelligence?
And the UK was on England too.
I'm sure the UK has a program too, where they stole a bunch of them too.
They stole a bunch
because that's the Allied powers.
That was the Allied powers.
Oh, here we go. Paperclip, this is what I was looking for. Paperclip expanded beyond rocketry into chemists, physicians, and engineers.
The roll is easy A.
Power is right.
Change those bets.
What a question with a check mark. Absolutely. Again, U.S. intelligence justified it as denying technology to the Soviets.
Yeah, they have to justify it.
That's like the story they told everybody. They're like, just to say,
yeah.
do you really want the Russians to have this technology?
Yeah, and that's what
They're
it was.
like, oh, that's a good idea.
But they're also justifying it for themselves. You know, because
And you only got $118, dude. Throw it all on the horn, dude. Let's go. $25 across the horn. We can't do the full horn bet for some reason, though.
Bets are open.
It won't let us pick horn in general. We can only bet individually.
Must be a multiple of 4. Must be a multiple.
Must be a multiple of 4. Just run it. That's it. Like, keep going. We got $98, dude. Keep going. There's 2 yos. They just have 2 yos for some reason.
Because it's a yo-yo.
They ought to just they got to justify it because that's what it is. But honestly, they should have took the information and killed them. Exactly. They should have taken the information and then killed them all.
No more
They
bets.
didn't.
Coming up.
They did.
Because they didn't care.
Harry Kramer. Hi, Harry Kramer. I'm new. I'm new to the neighborhood.
I'm new to the neighborhood. He's in Boston.
Yeah, he's in Boston. I'm new to the neighborhood.
Oh, that's it. We're out of money, folks.
Ah, shit.
How about them socks? Yeah.
All right, so if you hit start, All right, go to restart.
It's an option because they know.
Yes. Boom. And now we just start from scratch.
There you
But I'm trying to read chat here. But does that make us bad or just taking out the trash? Exactly. It's just taking out the trash.
No, I think it makes us not as bad, but
They should have
bad
killed them.
adjacent. No, but it's not about being just as bad, because look at us now.
Welcome to the
We've
domain of
become
the
just as
expert.
bad.
Well, not
We
even
ask
they
all
killed them, but they
patrons
all
to
should have been
sign in.
definitely trialed. Like, tried and shit. Like, arrest them, get all the tech. You can only get so much intelligence if, you know,
What can I do you
I
for?
don't know.
Well, it shows you the character of the
Literally
people that were in charge.
The next line here on my notes is ethics were questioned early, but classified details hide specifics.
Yeah.
All right, you got to sign in. Go on down there,
Player 1, you must
There
sign
you
in
go.
as a new player.
Right
or
here.
Yep.
continue. Player 1.
and we can
Sign
be
in,
A.
please.
Great. We're coming back in. So, this will be our. Now we took this is our third time at $1,000. So we're down. We're only down $2,000. Let's win it back, dude.
Let's win it back. I'm in the mood to win it back.
I think we can win it back. Dude, you're good. Just
gonna
it's
put my
kind of
name.
weird, right?
It's a little weird. Getting used to old PlayStation stuff.
Surprised I don't have the music playing the whole time. It's very interesting.
We couldn't get rights to any music.
It's their music. There you go. Return to signpost, which is the
Player
lady.
1, you must sign in as a new
Oh,
player
you didn't-
or
yeah.
continue on from a previous visit.
What's up? Welcome back.
Player 1, sign in, please.
Oh, they
Player
hit
1,
new.
you must sign
Squishville,
in as a
what
new
up? Welcome
player. Player
back.
1, you must sign in. Player
Anything
1,
about
sign
the
in, please.
the Reich bells and the theory of being what landed in Roswell?
Oh, the German bell.
The German bell.
Yeah,
That's crazy
so
thing,
that
too.
was the Nazis' their super secret project, and supposedly went off and traveled back in time.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
I'm gonna mess with the shop.
I have a little problem with that theory that it was what crashed in Roswell. But I do think I think they did have something. I think they had.
Can you explain
The
explain that a
Nazi-
little bit? Explain
So it's called, so you know, I guess the Nazi bell is what the cloak
Yeah.
term is it that everyone uses online. So it was basically an anti-gravity UFO type machine,
Good
you know,
luck.
that could hover, but it was supposedly it was unstable. It wasn't fully
Now
developed.
we're going into a whole nother world because now this is a whole thing that they had a treaty with the aliens already like set up, which is how they got some of this information from.
And that could be. It could be that the U.S. knew that.
There we go. But that's all the scientific info they had. It's just another part of the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's cool. That's big.
Yeah, it's chat.
I'm always on the other side of the TV watching.
Oh yeah. Well, this is Twitch and YouTube and Facebook all together, and that's Ed. Ed's in the chat. Haha.
Andrew, Ryan's pretty. Well, you
Bets are closed.
Oh yeah.
the other
Player
guy
has
says
11.
execute.
17. Player
You're gonna
stands
put-
on
you
Oh,
some
I can.
blackjack?
I can.
He knows basic strategy.
Yeah, I want to watch play some blackjack because I don't know how to play blackjack. Or
I was doing pretty good.
This is Blackjack.
Player stands on
This is literally
18.
basic strategy.
Blackjack.
Oh, I can look at it.
It's not a
Blackjack.
guaranteed way to
16.
win.
Go ahead.
Also, it
Let-
has
let's
to
see
be
how
like-
you-
All right.
Stands
Oh,
on
yeah.
17.
Oh, you're good. I'm happy that you jumping in.
Bets, please.
It's crazy to talk to Blackjack.
The Blackjack.
How casino game is conspiracy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, so what is?
Bans
Bets are
on every game.
closed.
How-
Every TV games, every
Player
time you
has
step in the casino,
6.
you're going to lose.
16.
How crazy is it that they literally like just grabbed a?
Where's my card?
Player stands on 20.
You're not playing.
Okay.
Bang.
Are you playing?
Has
I don't
no,
know,
but-
Andrew, your controller's not even plugged in.
Bang stands on 19.
Yeah, like the little.
It's like
bets?
when my son plays the
Yeah,
Mario
man.
Kart, and we just have the computer playing. We're like, oh, good job, Dave.
There you go.
Yeah,
You-
yeah, you're
bets,
doing good.
please.
You're doing good.
You got
Player
it.
has 19.
He's got an N64 controller and it's a PS5.
Player has 14. Player
You
busts.
did it! Oh man! Wow!
I look, I'm on that hand.
I gotta cook some lasagna. I'll be here. All right, Ed's cooking and
Another
lurking.
winner.
Another one
Place your
now.
bets.
Clerking.
No.
Lurking. Like lurking in the chat. Just lurking in the chat. He's lurking in the kitchen. He's got it on and he's just hanging out listening.
Well, that's like you're talking about conspiracy with gambling. So
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, hold on. So it's crazy how they literally went into the middle of the desert and just said, "We're gonna build a city here."
Or 14. Player stands on
There's
14.
nothing there.
no, and that's what it was. The mob built the casinos out there because there was
supposedly.
nothing there. But
Supposedly.
But no, and then the CIA actually came in and picked up some techniques that they were using at the casinos, like to use as techniques throughout. Like
Crazy.
They got shit done.
they got shit done. And like, what are you doing out here? And like, oh look, you go in the casinos. There's no time.
I got.
There's no. It's just
You're
there's
the man.
no,
You're the man.
no windows. Yeah. So you don't.
They're like, we should
Yeah.
have like a really nice like thing so the sun set.
You
They're like,
don't-
or we could do no windows and they don't ever know what time it is.
And then
the
you
guy
feed
goes,
'em with
"Oh,
drinks."
oh, oh, don't put any clocks in either.
And get them all toasted
All
up.
right, well, hold on,
And
here we go. What if we just charge half price for drinks, right? So they drink more. And some guy goes,
No more bets.
what if we give them the drinks for free?
But they think it's free, but
17.
you really have to
Player stands on
$5.
17.
Cheaper than going to the bar.
Player has 5.
They're like, whoa, free drinks? Yeah,
Player stands on
the
14.
drinks.
And no
They
windows.
get a drink that's like
Bank
$12.
has
I'm looking like,
15.
Sucker.
$2 at the machine or
Yeah.
$5.
Bank stands on 21. Any bets?
All right, where are you at, Andy? Are you playing or not?
I don't know if this is on like auto.
No, it's because you're not playing. You have to use the D-pad. Go to.
Use the 64 controller again.
Go
No
up.
more bets.
No, we control
You keep hitting next when you have no
Player
cards.
has 19.
He has
Yeah,
no.
what?
He's just hitting
Yeah,
Yeah,
next.
no, that was the end of the hand.
Okay.
Player has 4.
All right, let's see. Player has 4 or 14.
Player stands on 14.
I like how the
Bank has
how it's like a
10. 15.
it's like a Jersey Mafia guy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm down to the casino. I'm
Bank stands on
down in
21.
AC.
Hey, 21. Everyone loses. All right, so look. So now you have to move your thing. And we're gonna bet a little bit of money. Let's bet. We're gonna play. Let's play. That's what I'm saying. You weren't even playing. We're gonna play $100 hands. Let's go. Let's.
Look at
Bets
that.
are closed. Player has 12.
Oh, I have 12, but he's showing a 10, so that's probably a 10. But what we're gonna do is gonna get sloppy because
hit.
we're gonna double down. So we get
Double.
one bet, we double our money, and we get one card.
Maximize
Player
profitability.
stands on 13.
13, not great. Not great.
Not good.
Not great.
Player stands on 14.
Dealer has to
Player
hit on
has
17 or higher.
17. Player stands on 17.
Yeah, I think it's 17.
Bank has 13.
13.
Bank
Busts.
Out.
That's us. That's a win.
Got him.
Pay win.
That's a win.
Player wins. Any bets?
All right, yeah, we're rolling. Let's go.
That was just 2-1. What were they doing before? Like,
But the insurance based.
No more bets.
Yeah.
Never take the insurance.
Player
Ever.
has
what did you usually play? A 5 to 6 and
We got 13.
6 to 5.
You want to play 3 to 2.
Yeah, 3
All
to
right,
2.
we got 13. He's showing a 7. I'm going to double down again. Fuck it.
What do you got?
Player stands on 15.
15.
Player has
We got 15.
17. Player stands on 17.
Yeah.
Player has 14. 17. Player stands on 17.
Yeah.
Possible.
Bank
It's virtually impossible. That's why you try to get a game for $5.
Bank stands on 17.
Oh, dealer must draw
Push,
to 16.
push. Any bets?
Dealer must. Dealer
Swing
must.
that over your way.
Dealer must hit at 16
Okay.
and stand on all 17s.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back.
We got.
We're even. We're back to $100.
Yeah,
or
throw in
1,000
100.
bucks. Let's do $1,000 bet. Let's
let's
do
do the
two $500 bets.
All right. I'm feeling lucky.
I like it. I wish there was like a change my denomination button. Why is it? Oh, is there not another?
Yeah, they don't expect you to bet that high.
Shipwreck, action, remove bets, hit, next, double down, split. I would love to split.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see if we get double cards. And
Maybe
we
we
can
get a
split it.
king ace.
We get a king, then we can split it. Then we're playing two
No
hands.
more bets. Player
And then we.
Oh, we got the
Yes!
we got the pair.
Split it!
first hand. 16.
16,
Hit
stand.
Hit on
Player
9.
stands on 16.
I tend to.
You can only split pairs. right?
15? Oh, yeah, only, it's going to
You
be the
can
same
only
number.
split pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on a 15. He's showing a 10. We're going to take
Hit
it.
on the 15.
Player busts.
I would have stand.
Player has 12.
Just stand.
Well, we got. Well, we got.
Player stands on 21.
I would just stand, dude.
Player has 19.
19.
Player stands,
Stands on 19. What's he got?
Bank
12.
If you're not gonna get
22,
risky on the
see?
split, you're not gonna get risky on the split.
No, you don't, man. You
House
don't. You don't hit on. You don't hit on that. You just wait.
pays winner.
Puff it
Place
out.
your bets.
Yeah. What do you want? You don't have a mouse. I have a mouse.
we got some production going on in the background here.
Play on it. There you go. Well, it's PS1.
It looks a lot better on your screen than it does on TV.
Can
What
I
is it?
not do? Is there a faster way?
What was it, up by 5s? Oh, yeah, 200.
You can't use the back button like the triggers on top.
I don't think so.
Come on, get your Street Fighter or your Mortal Kombat. Your Mortal Kombat. Yeah, break it.
Here we go.
Test your might.
No, fuck that. The worst one is track and field.
Oh, track and field.
Track and field is so hard. All right, we have 12. I'm gonna double down because I'm getting wild.
All right.
Bust. We're out. Shit.
Player stands on 18.
Split anything with high numbers like 8s, 9s, 10s,
Yeah.
or stand on 10s and hope the dealer doesn't do 20 or 21. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
the move.
Bank stands on
Right
18.
up there.
Push. You can't cover our minimum bet anymore.
Uh-oh.
You've got no money left.
Oh,
There we go.
no. We lost
All
our
right, the
money
reset
again.
again.
We lost our money again. All right, I like it. Let's go back to
Want to try your luck elsewhere?
splitting fours is funny though. I agree. I like splitting fours.
Yeah, I mean,
You have Tom Petty in the slot selection or no?
No, but we can go into the slots.
Good Buffalo.
Buffalo. No, but this game's from like 1999, dude.
There's no President Story.
No.
I saw one called
you may have some glitter kitty
I
though.
saw a kitty glitter. I saw
Kitty
Kitty
glitter.
glitter.
I saw one called Used Cars today. Never seen it.
Used cars,
Welcome
baby.
to the domain of the
The old
Emperor.
IGT
We
machines,
ask
the
all
best.
patrons to sign in.
Oh, we gotta sign in.
You can bet, 20, 40, 80, $1. The denominations are so much better, and there's no progressives, there's no bonus wheels. You get
What can I do you for?
Yeah.
these are a little bit up.
All right, let me
Okay.
sign in.
Player 1.
You guys can talk
Sign in,
seriously.
please.
I'll talk game a little bit, but I know I'm probably get ridiculed. Honestly.
Player 1, you must sign in as a new player or player 1.
No, our
Oh, you never
chat,
read the comments.
dude, our chat is very awesome.
Good.
Player 1, you must sign
I
in.
did.
as a
I've
new
signed in
player.
3
Player
times.
one,
You gotta
must
hit,
sign in.
new.
Player 1.
Not like this one
Sign
guy.
in,
I'm
please.
going too strong with my girlfriend with guitar. It's on the internet.
Those people, the comments, the comments of people like doing stuff.
Hey,
He's like, it's this really nice song. He's
Welcome
not
back.
great, but he's obviously wrote a nice song for his girlfriend. And people were like, "Kill yourself! You suck!"
take a guitar and just eat it.
Yeah, the some of the creativity, it's just terrible.
But people are doing it.
God
though.
forbid if you're fat or kind of ugly. Like the one girl was like,
Choose a machine.
I just started my first nail in the jaw, and she had like really big teeth. It
Done.
was ridiculous. All right, let's do this one.
You gotta just be a little bit smarter.
Be aware. They're all mean, dude. They're all so mean.
You are so mean.
So mean.
$1 minimum per spin.
$1 minimum. Fuck that.
Drop your money in and play.
No,
Let's give $5.
no. We want.
Drop your money in and play.
A coin slot.
No,
I remember
we-
the first time I went down to casino. I was so disappointed when it was all digital. When I
Here
got
we go.
tickets.
We're going to the real deal. We're going $25 a spin.
We're going to the high.
Max three.
We're going to high limit room.
What's it?
Choose a machine.
Check
to
out. We're
play.
going to high limit room. Watch. High limit room.
Millionaire.
No 3 hour pinball.
They got rid of Wake 'em Up too at Chester Harris.
Damn.
Go on.
25
All right, here we
Wake 'em
go.
up.
per spin.
Oh, the dragon.
All right, let's throw $500 in. All right, 475. All right, let's go. All right, so, dude, and you know it is crazy. And just go back to what we were talking about earlier too. It's like, it like branches off into so many things just from them coming over. You know,
Yeah.
we're talking about eugenics, we're talking about MK Ultra, we're talking about all the Admiral Byrd stuff going over in Antarctica.
Byrd.
What about the Antarctica bases that the Nazis had down there too?
I did have bases, and the U.S. has some stuff going on down there as
A
well.
lot of wild shit
That's
going
what
on
I mean.
in Antarctica, dude.
It turns out that the U.S. is very interested in what the Nazis were doing.
Oh,
And
oh,
almost.
Oh my gosh.
we won for that. 150.
They were They're very interested in what the
Here we
Nazis
go.
were doing.
We're in the chat. The Antarctica Treaty.
Antarctica Treaty. That's right. That no one can be down in Antarctica. And
They're like, hey,
all neutral.
They're like, there's no fighting, guys.
Yeah, we can't do anything. Well, that's why the Nazis saw it out in Argentina because it's down there.
They're
in
like,
the tip.
guys, knock it off. And everyone's like, okay, we won't fight. But we'll all work together and do science work down in Antarctica, but no one can go to Antarctica.
Well, there's that gentleman that whistleblower now that was down there is like an electrician down one of the Antarctica bases, and he was saying that they got the big neutrino blaster down there. It's like HARP. It's like a 3D.
The neutrino blaster.
It's like
cool,
a 3D
guys. Sounds
HARP
like a great
that's
idea.
Like, you know, 10 miles or 2 miles or however big it is. Square.
We're getting smoked on this machine.
Yeah.
We're getting so.
Oh, there we go.
Buck 50.
We need a wild there, dude.
So, what happens if I cash out? Let's cash out. Can I cash out?
You can cash out.
I can. I can hit triangle, cash out. Let's see how much money we have, because we put more money in. Oh! Alright. Oh, we have
All
700.
right.
So we only lost 300 bucks. Alright.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, just go down with the ship, right? Let's go.
Oh, there you go. Last hand.
Let's go down with the ship.
All in.
Yeah, good. So continue. Antarctica, though. The Antarctica Treaty is wild. It's wild. No one knows what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, they just have that. No, we can go to Antarctica, but the Nazis.
Oh!
Hey, look at that.
75 bucks. Damn.
Oh, there we go. So, I mean, it's suspected that the Nazis were down there in Antarctica with Admiral Byrd when he was flying over the South Pole. He did have he said, a German accent greet him as he was flying and escort him to land. He said they had German accents. So, I don't know if that is.
And we're gonna save all that information because
that would be
that's gonna be an
the
Ed,
other
that's gonna be an
episode.
Ed episode talking about Admiral Byrd. No country in the world is allowed to have war there.
No.
What does that mean? Hey, no war, guys.
But there's only like a handful of countries that are orchestrating all the wars.
Oh my God.
So and they're the
We
ones
are
that
getting
orchestrate.
absolutely smoked on this machine. Oh.
So Antarctica is kind of like free for all that you can do whatever you want.
One line hit down the middle. Oh. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, it's so like what else? I don't know, man. It's like
Get it?
how many? And we were talking about earlier, like how many other trials were there other than Nuremberg, and what were those trials about?
Yeah, because they had trials in Germany where they did put people in
Have
prison.
enough coins in the machine to make your bet.
All
But
right,
that was prior to
you can do one bet.
how everything settled down with I think that was before Paperclip, and I think
Oh,
the U.S. actually
Yo!
pulled someone out of one of the German prisons to work for them.
sorry, you can't cover the minimum bet. You have to leave, and they just kick me out of the
just
casino.
Like, just like the real casino.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
All right, I think
Choose a machine to play.
I'm okay from government brainwaves from now.
Oh, you're okay?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'll
all
be
right.
all
We're
right.
good. We're good.
Minimum of $25
Yeah, my head's
per
sweating.
spin.
Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm trying to
I'm
shield
cooking my
from-
own brain.
I'm cooking in here.
All right, you want to run through? Hey, there's some more stuff on here if you want to run through a couple of these.
Want to try your luck elsewhere?
Do we have any money? I don't think we have any money.
So greenlighting Project Paperclip allowed the individuals like Joseph Mengele. I don't think Mengele came over. He wasn't one of them, but he was someone that was
Welcome to the domain of the
that
Emperor.
worked with a lot
We
of
ask
these
all
people
patrons to sign in.
that came over.
I mean, he's not directly involved, but can you talk a little bit about him and what happened with him?
So the idea is that what the Nazi
Anything you need?
like Surgeon Generals were doing, they were doing these human experiments on people in the concentration
one.
camps.
Sign in, please.
And so I mean they were just doing whatever, but they came over to the
Welcome
US
back.
to work with organizations here, and these ideas that these people had were still in them.
It's crazy, exactly.
was still
And they got
motivating them.
greenlit to do the same shit they were doing before.
And exactly.
All right,
And
let's
they
just
got-
take a quick break
which
because
allowed
we gotta unload the car real quick. So we'll be back in
Which
2
allowed
minutes.
them
Yeah, finish your sentence.
which allowed them to greenlight these projects that they were doing in Germany in the U.S. And you saw it with the Tuskegee experiments,
The Philadelphia
the
experiment,
Philadelphia
the
experiment.
Montauk projects.
Well, I'm talking about like the human experiment that they did, like the Tuskegee experiments. They were given, the Tuskegee Airmen,
Yep.
and like they were giving these people experimental drugs without their knowledge and just experimenting on people in their face, and they do it all the time. They still do it to us today. We can get down those conspiracies
It's
as well.
crazy. All right, let's pick up there. We'll be back in a
And
minute
that's
here.
where we can pick up when we come
But no,
back.
it's also crazy because how did the German technology affect the Korean War, which was only like 10 years later?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come right
exactly.
back.
signpost will take you anywhere in the casino. This signpost will take you anywhere in the casino. This signpost will take you anywhere in the casino. This signpost will take you anywhere in the casino.
There you go. You got your mic. You're muted. Let's get into some occult stuff and all that. All right, Baccarat. You know how to play Baccarat? Let's figure it out. We're gonna try to figure it out.
Add up to 9 or something like that.
Add up to 9 or something like that. I'm sure there's
Welcome
rules.
to the tournament. To participate, you must place a bet for each round.
9 for the
Bets
tie.
between $1,000 and $100,000.
Are you good? Are you green?
Place
There you
your
go. All right.
I'm all green, baby.
Does it tell you how to play? Nope. Better figure it out. 1,000. Next. Let's go. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, let's see if we can figure out. We're smart fellas.
Let's see if we can win Baccarat.
All right, we got double aces, jacks, jack ace. Or we got 2 decks. I have no idea what's going
Player's
on.
hand is
Wins.
2. Player's
Player
hand wins. I won!
Pay the player.
I don't know, but I bet $1,000 and I won.
Place your bet.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, all right, so we got 2.
All right, we just made another $1,000. Let's
All
go
right.
back to the roulette table.
Where would you like to go now?
We're going to the roulette table. Hell yeah, roll in and double your money. Now we're gonna roulette. I think we should play all
You wanna
one
play roulette?
side.
Bets between $5 and $50,000.
50,000. So what I'm thinking, Ange, is what if we just go all the way down here? Start
do
at
it-
2
just
and
do
go
it.
to 36.
I love it. 0-0 too. You got to have the 0-0 in there. Damn. Yeah, get
Bet all the way.
0-0. It's a little trail. We call that
We call that the happy trail.
the happy trail there.
Oh, I don't want to put it on. Can I can't. I don't want that. That's bullshit. All right, this is $5 each, so we have 1,800. So let's keep going. We're trying to get 10 on everything. All right, I like it.
So beyond the V2 rocket that the U.S. was very interested in. I mean, that was like the main thing that they
Yeah.
really sought out was the rocket tech, the MK Ultra stuff, and I guess all the
No more
We got
Soviet
one other. We
intel.
got 2 other guys on the thing. They bet $5 on one spot.
oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
But there's
We have-
a lot of hidden information that people usually don't talk about, and that's
Black
all
two.
like
winning
the
bet.
alien tech. stuff.
Black two, we
I think
lost.
We kind
We
of
lost.
touched upon that a little bit. So, I think we had someone in the chat talking about the Nazi bell and how that may be tied to Roswell. So there is some theories that they do think that they did have that Nazi bell was true. I think it's true. I think the Nazis could have created some anti-gravity tech. Now if that is the actual craft that crashed in Roswell, that's another thing
No more
that's a little
bets.
far-fetched. Because we have especially now, we have some
Heavy in the
really
middle, baby.
good
Heavy in the
proof of
middle.
Roswell, about information about it, and that
Damn it.
it doesn't line up with a craft that
Another
looks
win.
anything like a bell. And we know
Bets,
I
please.
believe there's talk or descriptions of the Wunderwaffen or whatever it was called, the wonder weapon that was gonna change the war. They really loved it.
I think this is what Ed was talking about.
Yeah, no, it was, and we may have taken that tech and used it to develop anti-gravity in the U.S., which really points to it, along with other tech, alongside with the Roswell crash.
Well, dude, if we didn't have that technology, right? So this is a good point. So if we didn't have that technology and have all this new anti-gravity tech and all this coming in, then why would they separate a whole division out of the Air Force and make it
Hold
a
your
new
bets.
branch of the military called Space Force?
Yeah, and that's like
That's how all that Space Force is here because of all this shit, dude.
that's true. And that's through NASA, and they
And who
really
approved
wanted
to make that logo like the Star Trek logo?
Black.
I know,
Did we
that's
get it?
Pretty funny.
Winner.
Oh, we won.
No, we did not.
Bets,
we did.
please.
The other guy
Yeah.
won.
Oh.
We're gonna run that back again. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. We're gonna try some techniques here. What do we
But
gonna
I
do?
really think that we, as Americans, that we could have came up with this tech as well. We didn't need Nazi help. Like, if they do come here, hold them accountable. Like we were saying before, it's either
Yeah.
come here or go to Argentina. Like, your crimes will be forgiven. And that kind of shows you
What?
the mentality of.
We're gonna,
of the-
we're
of
gonna
the-
go heavy all in here.
Oh, look at that. Nice and thick. That shows the mentality of the people in charge and who's running the show with like the military
Yeah.
industrial complex regarding
All right, let's go.
Nazi
Big,
outlook on how
big.
to control populations.
Yeah.
because the U.S. not
Big
only
bet here, baby. Big bet here.
and the U.K. and all of the West
Yeah, they're all
has
involved.
a similar construct, and you can see that now in the World Economic Forum, which is
Damn it.
like their, they're kind of like mask off organization, which is kind of cool to see. To see the mask off.
All right,
finally,
first, second, or third? What do you like?
in that contact.
What do you like? First, second, or third?
Let's do the.
Can we see
Let's
what?
do the first
It
12.
just hit 3. It just hit 3. If you like it, let's go. I'm going all.
Do the first 12, yeah.
I'm going all in.
I'm going all in.
I have to hit every.
Do 500. Do
All right,
500.
we'll do 500. Yeah, so continue.
So it shows you like where they stood on their beliefs on that the Nazis were doing. They gave them a thumbs up. They said, no, you guys were just on the wrong side of the fence, but all the stuff you're doing was okay. Because we did the same exact thing to Japanese in concentration camps.
Well, yeah, and then
I mean, silver lining, it wasn't as bad, but we were still experimenting on them as well. We were still, putting them in horrible conditions. We were still splitting up families. It may have been only on Japanese people, and I believe Native Americans. They wrangled up Native Americans too while they could. They figured they why not? But this stuff has been happening in American history for always. So I mean, people get upset now about current situations, but I mean, this is part of our history. We've been doing this stuff. Nothing's changed. But the Nazis were
But it's
their,
the tech,
their
dude.
methods were okay. And the tech was a nice little icing on the cake that they.
And it's crazy the amount of intelligence they had as well.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that was all. So all like the MK Ultra stuff and all the concentration camps and the diabolical behavior wasn't a bug; it was a feature.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they probably
we saw that as like, oh
yeah.
Oh wow, you saved us a lot. You saved us a headache. That's what you guys saved us, because now you did all the legwork for us, because we were going to do this stuff anyway. So now we can just pick up where you left off, and the U.S. they painted it.
No more bets, please.
They presented it better. They made it more palatable because it was really.
Well, it's just marketing at that point.
Exactly, it's
just
all
marketing at
marketing
that
because they
point.
just left it to the CIA underneath. Because we were still
Oh.
doing all the invasions throughout, like you said, like
30.
uh,
Winner.
followed up by World War II was the Korean War, which we got involved in, the
Yo, let's
Cold
go.
War.
Player wins.
You can go into Vietnam, you can go
Everyone.
into Grenada, you can
Place your
go
bets.
into Laos, you can go into
All right, I like this.
Cambodia, the massacres there, awful. 20 years in Iraq, over 1 million dead there.
Yeah, but that's all the same
sacrificing
Dude, that's
Ukraine.
all the same families.
It's all the same people. That's what I mean. It's still the same people. It's all the same.
It's just
families.
different generations of everybody.
Exactly, because they all have a plan, and that's like the Illuminati.
Here we go.
and-
Von Braun admitted that America was ahead in rocketry. They just used Von Braun for his rocket designs.
You see that? You see
Oh,
that? You don't
so they
need,
already were there.
You
They were
don't
just.
need. You don't need Nazis coming over here.
You don't
And,
need him
like,
alive then.
If the Soviets got them, they would have. The U.S. just didn't want the Soviets to get them,
That's it. That's the whole story of everybody.
and
Everybody on that list.
and the Nazis knew if they went
We're
to the
going in.
Soviets,
We're going in hard.
that the Soviets would throw them in jail and
Let 'em rot.
let them rot, and torture them for their information. And and the Nazis didn't want it, and the Americans were like, "Here, come here, and we'll give you a villa or whatever you can have."
It's fucking crazy.
And they were just like, okay, because a lot of the Americans had the same beliefs with just Nazi culture. They had the same kind of socialite, dark
Yeah,
thing
but
going on.
how about all the weird stuff, all the occult stuff that was going on too, and where they were kind of doing this weird like science and magic combo thing going on as well.
Well, that's like- yeah,
Hitler
and
used to have that black like doll under his arm all the time and shit. Here we go. So we're betting on the first third and then the whole back third by itself.
Well, yeah, and that's
I
what it
like
is.
this. I like this I like this strategy
No more
here
bets,
for the
please.
The
roulettes.
technology they wanted to, and we still see that with CERN today. That's a big thing, and I think that's
Dude, the
all.
CERN project definitely kicked us out of the fucking.
But with Paperclip, what we got 28.
Black, 28.
Oh, that's a
Player
hit.
wins.
That's a hit.
That's a
baby.
hit,
What did we
baby.
win? Last win
Winner.
18.
Lay your bets.
All right, we're gonna keep doing this.
So-
We're gonna bet one of the thirds and then one of the full things.
I like it. So bringing them in with jet propulsion, that goes into like Jack Parsons and JPL. That's something that you and I were discussing earlier.
Well, then that's all the occult stuff too. That's all the
Parsons
what's the group called? The Dawn.
The Golden Dawn. Well, that's that's like Crowley, and Parsons was into Thelema, and he brought a lot of this stuff as like. Do that now. We get a breeze as soon as we're talking about this. You see that? That was a big breeze. I mean, he was into that, and they associate.
Well, they were trying to make deals too with like entities to help them
win
the war, and they were doing this science occult. Reality manipulation and all that wild shit, all that weird sex magic they were all into as well. Wild stuff.
Here
we go.
And magic and wars go back.
Well, it's sacrifices, and you're doing blood sacrifices and all that.
There's a cool story if you want to look. A cool magic story with history. I don't know which war it was in England, but England was fighting Spain, and Spain had a bunch of ships on the harbor. Spanish Armada. And it was Queen Elizabeth I, and she had her court, I guess, magician or one of her counselors.
We got 480 left. We need a big hit
John
here.
D. And John D. was a magician, and a lot of Crowley stuff comes from John D. A lot of the occult stuff, present day, comes from John D. Coming from his spell books and memoir. Anyway, but he supposedly did something, and there was a huge storm that came out of the sea and sunk all the Spanish Armada's ships.
Dude.
And it was like a freak storm, and it was bizarre, and it went down in history to the point of today.
Yeah.
The story right now, and we're like, what? 400
yeah, but there was also
years later.
It was also a weird time in the country too, because like I said, communities were growing, cities were prosperous, and all that kind of shit. And you see that like they're getting away from the alchemy and the natural ways that they could heal each other, and that magic stuff was. I mean, look at all the Salem stuff. Like that was real shit.
Yeah.
Like people were doing that stuff.
Well, and people.
Oh, that's a good one.
And people still do that stuff today. It's more accepted. It's not.
We missed it.
And I think the thing that doesn't work out as much with like the
lost all our money again
is that it is more accepted today, but it's not as understood.
Oh, it's definitely no. It's purposely not understood, and it goes into a lot of what's in the.
It's purposely not understood.
What's in Rome, dude? What's in Rome?
Well, no, a lot of people.
Ether or ether. That's a big part too. They got rid of there were 5 elements.
Yeah.
Earth, water, air, and fire, and then ether was the 5th, and they got rid of that.
And the ether is,
the ether is basically it's the space. It's the kinetic energy in the air. It's the connection to Earth. It's the vibration juice.
Yeah, it's the force that travel. Yeah.
All right, we are now $4,000 in debt here at Caesar's Palace.
It's cool. We still got another house and a car to mortgage off.
Yeah. We're good.
I got some pink slips in my pocket.
I'm just taking loans.
Take some loans.
I'm just taking loans from the casino.
That's good. 30%.
22.
Oh, ain't bad.
22 interest, $4,000.
Credit card.
Domain of the Emperor.
The domain of the Emperor. Can you literally pull 12-volt DC out of the air? Oh no, I've seen it. It's crazy.
And that's not, they don't want that tech. They don't want
Hell
that.
no.
And that's not even.
But see, that also goes into like people. I mean, the Tesla stuff is crazy. Nikola Tesla basically had this information. They killed him, and then all the wildness with him and Edison. And Edison like kind of like stealing everybody's shit.
Because Edison was.
We're gonna go back to blackjack. We're gonna play heavy hands of blackjack.
Edison was, I believe he was Westinghouse funded him, and they were a bigger title because they let I think like J.P. Morgan was funding
Any bets?
Tesla, and they let him go because I guess he just they let him go because Tesla stuff was free.
That was all about patents too, because he wanted to make it free, and they wanted to patent it so they could make money off of it.
Tesla's energy was free, and they didn't like that. But we can't do the free energy stuff now because our infrastructure.
I have 7. I'm gonna double down on a 7.
Can't handle it because if we do all the
Not
free energy
good.
stuff, it would fry all the infrastructure that's out today.
13.
Because it's
Player
all
stands on 13.
it's all
Player
in the
has
air.
six.
Dude, have you seen the New York subway? The way they run that, it's like light bulbs and shit.
13. Bank busts.
Yeah, we just hit on a fucking 9.
Player wins. Another winner.
There we go.
Place your bets.
But that's all part of it, dude. That's all the same kind of error and people and crews and all that shit, dude. Like,
No more bets.
that
please.
technology is very
Player
accessible.
has
13. We're just gonna be we're
Player stands on 20.
just gonna keep doubling down on
Player
everything.
has
Let's go.
15. Player stands on 15. Player
Yeah, and
has
there's a
14.
the Nazis were into a
Player
lot of
stands on
occult stuff, and the U.S.
14.
that kind
Bank
of
has
ties into them
16.
because a lot of the U.S. families were tied into
Bank stands on
21.
European,
This guy
Place your
fucking
bets.
gets a 16 and throws a 5 down. Are you shitting me?
European business, and even though that the Nazis were an evil organization, they still money was still
No
more.
bets, please.
Dude, the amount
Powerful
in the
than their
bankers, the bankers.
Yeah, like money's money. Like it
Oh, we
doesn't
got
matter
18.
where
He's
it
showing
comes
a
from.
10.
Money's always going to be money.
Double down.
Player stands on 20.
20.
And it's really sad to see
12. 15.
people sell out themselves
and that
for man-made things.
that was all about patents. Our grid is from 1952, and that was a revamp from the 1890s grid.
Bank
Yeah,
has 20.
they're tearing out in my town. They're
Bank stands
tearing
on
up
20.
all the sewer, all the
Push,
plumbing pipes
push.
that are made of
Bets,
lead
please.
because
Probably
it's
terracotta.
freaking- yeah, lead and terracotta because it's from the freaking 1800s, and like give us some freaking infrastructure,
No more
man. I don't want
bets.
to drink lead water.
Player has 13.
Oh, we have 13. Double down.
Player
down, baby.
busts.
Damn it.
Player has 19. Player stands on 19. Player has 18.
18.
Player stands on 18. Bank has
I bet you this game would look way better on a smaller television.
Yeah, if you had like a 36
push.
CRT.
Place
You know,
your
can I
bets.
mess with the? I'm able to crunch it up.
Here we go.
Crunch
we're
it
gonna
up.
crunch it up, folks.
Crunch it up. I don't think it'll affect them. What does it look like? Oh, it's small. And see how theirs looks? Ours doesn't look like that.
Oh.
Because I got it stretched.
Oh yeah, you got it.
All right, so we're gonna do some.
Oh, we're
technical
gonna
stuff.
mess with our settings on our end here. We want display picture. Here we go. Screen settings. Oh, way better. We can actually see it. Yeah, look at how good it looks on their screen compared to ours. All right,
We just had to adjust the
I had to change. I had
the
6.
screen from 16:9 to 4:3.
Yeah.
No more bets,
We can actually
please.
read the.
Player
Oh, yeah.
has
Still blurry though.
Still blurry, but I can definitely read it better.
No, the Nazis were into some crazy. I mean, all the Indiana Jones movies, well, not all of them, 2 out of the 3 original ones, were based on Nazi occult lore.
Player stands
That
on
they were trying to get
19.
Boom.
the Holy Grail, and they're trying to get the freaking Ark of the
Player
Covenant.
stands on
Oh well, the Ark of the Covenant is a whole nother story, and that's a wild story. That was a generator to
Player stands on
basically it was like a
19.
nuclear reactor that was running all of Egypt, and Moses and all them stole the technology.
Busts.
That's why they chased them
wins.
through the desert for 40 years, because they literally stole the
Hey,
nuclear
please.
reactor that
Another
basically
winner.
like
Bets, please.
had the powered the whole town. Oh yeah, dude. The Egypt shit is bananas, but that's stuff that the Nazis were looking into. All
They're
that
looking into-
old
they're looking
Egyptian
into-
stuff. Dude, you want to
into the
see some
occult.
wild stuff? Watch some of the occult Hitler and Nazi stuff. Here we go. But we were the first advanced civilization. Yeah, my balls. You mean
What?
Huss staff I don't know what that means.
No more bets.
You know,
please.
it's crazy, dude.
Player
People think
has
that we're the first
19.
ever. We're gonna stand.
Well, the
Player stands on 19.
well, there's supposedly that the Nazis were
Player
in
has
contact
15.
with.
You mean his staff?
stands on
Yeah, his staff.
15.
Well,
Bank
we
has
don't know what it
blackjack.
was. It could have been a
Push.
21.
Place your
It's
bets.
fucking dealer bullshit.
Supposedly the Nazis were in contact with aliens.
Fuck yeah, they were.
And
Probably the
that's where-
reptilians.
And that's where the Aryan supremacy.
His staff would like
ideas came from.
okay. They think that the staff was part of it because his staff, like when he used to part the Red Sea. Yeah, I mean if it was an energy staff, then he could just literally just use the vibration to kind of make everything go.
I want an energy staff.
I want an energy staff.
How do I get an
Player
energy staff?
has 20.
Jack Queen.
Player stands on 20.
I'd like to, if that was a queen, we definitely would split that.
Player stands on 15. Player has 8.
But they were talking to the microwaves. Yeah, where did the
18.
microwaves come from?
Yeah. Well, that was Roswell. So, microwaves, fiber optics, and there's a couple other tech things that popped off in the late 40s, early 50s. And this is tech that was directly linked
refrigerators?
to Roswell.
Place
Like,
your bets.
yeah, possibly. So another thing with the Nazi bell is that there was a crash in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, which is out in western Pennsylvania, and that was reported as a bell-shaped.
Was it, or did it
UFO.
exist in the 1700s? Yeah, I'm just being stupid now. They didn't invent the refrigerator. Or when Egypt was around. Oh,
That's right. They just buried.
We
They
got
would just
9.
bury food.
Double down.
Player stands on
So the-
11.
there's a-
Terrible.
Player
So the
has
Kecksburg
15.
UFO is
Player
supposed
stands on 20.
could be
Player
a
has black.
time-traveling Nazi bell,
Fucking
which is kind of
17
the
bullshit.
Stands on 17.
the off-the-wall theory about it. But there was military association with that, with them getting the object, whatever it was, that crashed in Kecksburg that day in 1963, I believe. Which had
That's a
descriptions
wild,
similar-
crazy story, though,
Similar
dude.
to
And
the
with all
Nazi
the,
bell.
and
House office insurance.
So it was like midday, dusk.
Player stands on
There was actually a lot of witnesses that it just came.
how about all the
crashing-
G-men there that day
It
and all the
came crashing
craziness?
down like they said, like an orange glow streak,
Second hand.
and it crashed into the side woods. And like
Player stands
by
on 21.
by that
Player
night,
has 15.
I believe that
House
it was
office insurance.
quarantined off by the
stands on
military,
15.
and it was trucked out.
Bank has
And there's not much that is known
Come
about
on,
it,
20
but
bullshit.
it disappeared real quick.
another winner.
There's a gentleman, Stan Gordon, who does a lot of Kecksburg stuff. So if you're interested in the Kecksburg UFO topic, you can check out Stan Gordon. He's got a lot of
The
research.
bells
Player
did
has
something.
17.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I don't think it was a bell.
Physical
as
bell.
in physical bell.
Well,
I think
that's
it was
different,
shaped.
though.
It was shaped at like a bell.
It was shaped like a bell. So the ship was called the bell, but then they also took all the bells out. Remember how about all that shit?
Yeah, that's
They
not
removed,
different.
they removed all the
Bank stands on
bells. 20?
You
Well,
can't
that-
cover a
There-
we
there
just
is something to that
we just
because
busted again.
They did
You have to start
change
again from the
the
beginning.
music scale from 432 to 440, and that was done. But and the
Time to
Nazis
try
did
Why
that,
was that?
made that standard. And that's the same thing because of the resonance. Because the 440 scale is more
Healing.
well, no, the 440 scale is more dissident than the 432. 432 is more healing.
The red brick has continually it can. Okay, so the red brick carries electricity. The 455 was original during Egypt. Interesting. So that's but then they used to have all the tree of life in all the churches, and they'd ring the bells, and people would get healed.
Well, you see that with the
We
red
ask
brick.
all
You see that in
patrons to sign
video
in.
games like Minecraft with the
The
they use that as
redstone.
like a switch. So that's something that is known.
Oh yeah.
Generally enough to be put into a video game like that.
Player 1, sign in, please.
Sign in was his number 5 or number 6.
No, 5 or 6. We're like 5. We're about $5,000 down today, guys. But we're gonna win it back here. We're winning it back.
Hello again.
All right, where are we going, Andy?
Let's do some Baccarat. Can you do tutorials? Let's do a tutorial for
Oh, there are
Baccarat.
tutorials.
There it is.
There's no tutorial on slots.
No, I think just tutorial on on slots.
Now, many of the games here at
Oh,
Caesars have
yes, it's the
interactive
actual
flavor.
tutorial. All right, let's listen to this.
Casinos throughout the world. It's called Baccarat, and this is the Baccarat table. Now, maybe
This
because
is
Baccarat
fantastic.
was invented for King Louis VIII and played by the French aristocrats, many people shy away from playing it. But Baccarat is actually a very simple game. The only decisions you have to make are how much to bet, which hand to bet on, and if you're really neurotic, which hand to bet with. Now, wagers are made on either the banker or the player. These bets pay even money. The winning hand is the one which has a total closest to 9 without going over. Tens, cards totaling 10, or face cards count as 0. If the cards total a 2-digit number, only the last digit is counted. For example, 2 cards totaling 12 would only count as a 2. Now, the 2 dealers in the center collect and pay out the bets. Opposite the dealer is a caller who directs the game and passes the shoe after each hand. 2 hands of 2 cards each are dealt from the Baccarat shoe. You'll notice the shoe is a little formal, but that's probably because all the cards come in suits. The Baccarat shoe holds a total of 8 decks of cards.
Hold for
Shoe
applause.
passes around the table in a counterclockwise direction after each winning player's hand. If you're betting on the bank, place your bet on the numbered slot marked bank. Place your bet on the area marked players if you're betting on the player.
So that's it. You're betting on who you think is closer to 9.
Now, play begins
Yeah.
when the shoe is passed to the first person or banker who slides the cards out of the shoe and deals 4 cards face down. First card goes to the player, second to the bank, third to the player, and fourth to the bank. The person with the highest bet on the player's hand turns them over and tosses them back to the caller, who lays them down and announces the total.
Player shows 6.
The person with the shoe then turns the 2 bank cards face up, tosses them to the caller, who announces the total and displays the 2 hands.
Bank wins 7/6. We pay the bank.
If either hand totals 8 or 9, the player or banker automatically wins. This is called a natural. Now, if no one has a natural, either side may draw a 3rd card, dealt face up, first to the player's hand and then to the banker's hand. The hand closest to 9 wins, and all
You throw
winning
'em like
bets
that.
are paid. In this case, the player shows 13, which becomes 3. And the banker wins with 5, since 10s count as 0. Now, there is one additional bet on the table, the tie bet. If the player and banker end up with the same total, a tie bet will pay off at 8-1. Now, in Baccarat, if you bet on the banker and win, you must pay a 5% commission on your winnings. Now, if you find yourself a little confused,
On the house, they still
probably
make
not
money.
alone. All you have to do is come down to the casino and try the games. If you forget how to bet, what to bet, or even how to play, just ask the dealers or the supervisors for a little help. If you feel you're not ready for Baccarat, start with mini Baccarat. It's
For
virtually
craps.
the same as Baccarat, but it's on a smaller table, has only 1 dealer, and the player never handles the shoe. Mini Baccarat is a great way to...
We got it. Let's try it out. That's cool. That's the original, like, ones from Caesar's Palace. Corporate. That's pretty funny. All right.
Best of luck.
Yeah, you don't mean that.
Welcome back. You know the rules.
Oh, yeah. of
Bets
course.
between $1,000 and $100,000. Place your
Minimum bet
bets.
is $1,000. Okay.
Let's bet that 1,000, baby.
That's us.
All right. That guy's gonna throw the cards up.
Okay, let's see
2
what happens.
hands. What do we got?
Player's hand is 6. Player's hand wins. Pay the player. Pay the
Wait,
player.
we don't know. We're just taking a
Oh,
guess?
just the
Place
player
your
hand
bet.
and the banker hand.
No, I understand that, but we don't know what any of this is, right? We're just...
So you can bet on the player or bet on the banker on which hand's gonna win.
No, I understand, but we don't know what anybody's cards are. We're just guessing?
I guess so.
Great. Let's just go with the bank.
Banker's hand is 6. Banker's hand wins.
We
Shit.
win again.
Yeah, we're cleaning up.
Dude, we're good at Baccarat, dude. We're good at Baccarat.
And then you can bet.
Place your bet.
I think you can. Yeah. hit
Let's
it up on
go.
can you hit it above the banker? See what happens.
I don't know what that does.
I don't hit it.
Maybe we're betting on a player.
I think you're betting with the banker.
We're just gonna go back and forth between us and the banker every time. Let's try to win one more. If we win this hand, we're even.
Yeah.
We're back to even, and we'll cash out.
Banker's hand is 8. Banker's hand wins.
Damn it.
Pay the player.
Okay, I don't understand.
Here, bet on the 4. See
Place
what
your
happens.
bet.
I don't understand why we can't see the cards.
Because I think that's the game.
No.
Player's hand is 9. Player's hand wins. Player wins.
Did we win? We get a natural 9.
Sorry, you can't cover the minimum bet.
Now we
You
lost.
have to-
We lost. All right, and that's
Baccarat,
Baccarat.
baby.
That's Baccarat.
Guessing games.
I don't understand that.
That's like
Yeah. What number am I holding up behind my back?
Yeah, guess the
2.
number.
Damn it. Let's go do. We're gonna play one more game and then we'll finish this episode up here. How about? Let's just throw it all
Best of luck.
on one thing.
So some of the darker contributions.
900 $900 on roulette. What are you thinking?
Is
This a
Walter
lucky table
Shriver
tonight.
tied the Nazi
Bets
human
between
experiment
$5 and
to join the U.S.
$50,000.
And I'm
Place your
sure that
bets.
they use some of his knowledge to do their own human experiments under the radar. Herbertus Stronghold, father of the space machine. I think we went over some of these. Many of these people worked on biochemical engineer weapons that we're using today.
We're going heavy.
MK Ultra came from this. The MK and MK Ultra
What does that stand
stands
for?
for mind control in German. So there you go.
There you go.
I mean, it's literally the name. Nuremberg.
Oh, before you go to the next, before you go to the next one,
Some work.
let's talk about the MK Ultra stuff for just a minute here. So there's a wild interview from Project Camelot that's been around for a long time. They interview this guy, and his name is Duncan O'Hara. So Duncan was an actual MK Ultra guy, like did stuff, and got into a car accident. And when he got into the car accident, it like messed up with the areas that were blocking communication with each other in his brain, and all of a sudden started to remember all the stuff that he had done. It's wild. And it's basically all the Jason Bourne stuff is all MK Ultra.
Yeah, Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne is MK Ultra. All right, here we go. We got 8
Hold your
numbers
bets.
bet. And we got about $100 on each number. This is a big bet right here. Come on, baby. Let's get back into business. I don't think we hit that.
Red 14. Winning bet.
Fuck!
Sorry, but you can't afford this table anymore.
We're running out of money.
And this game eats your money.
Man,
out.
we are.
So how do they expect you to bet?
We're
Like,
getting.
if
Try your luck elsewhere.
you
And where
can
am I
bet
gonna try?
$5 on like roulette and play. That's what they want.
I guess you just kind of. What's that? Get in there. Actually, kind of just hanging out, just like playing like you're in the casino for real.
But a lot of the stuff was like a playbook that was utilized.
It was a playbook.
Welcome to the domain of the Emperor. We ask all patrons to sign in.
Yeah, the MK Ultra stuff is just crazy because that is so very real and still happening today.
It is, yeah, it is still happening today on a mass scale.
Mass
in
scale.
today's,
I mean,
like
look at
the
all.
music industry, entertainment industry.
Look at all the people that are like the kids that do the shootings. They all are like under like psychotropics, and they're all
Welcome back.
very MK Ultra, dude.
Well, it's MK Ultra on a societal level. So, like I said, like you look at like well, all the Diddy stuff is coming out now, and that's showing you how
Yeah, well, that's
they influence
manipulation.
the music industry with like gangster rap.
And they also
encouraging people to have
play
a
all that
drug
at such a
street-
low vibration too.
Yeah, encouraging people to vibrate that low, and utilizing it in this like drug and street mindset, and glorifying it.
It's
and making
terrible.
it
Good luck.
Baby. Let's Baccarat it
One
up.
hand for Baccarat. Let's go.
And that's the thing.
$1,000 minimum.
It's to keep down the
Welcome
vibration, and then
You know the rules.
for what?
Bets between
To
1,000
keep
All right,
control
player
over
or
people.
backer? What are you betting on?
Place your bets.
Let's do player.
That's a wrap. Let's see what happens.
Come on, player. Got 3. Got 2.
Player's hand is 6.
6.
Player's hand wins this round.
Bang.
Player
All right.
wins.
How do we get 6?
2,
The king
Place your
0.
bets.
The 2. Why is the ace 4?
I know. Let's go. All right, let's go.
Let's get it.
I'm really enjoying your stream. I have some
Player's
friends
hand is
that are
9.
also big fans of the
Player's hand
games.
wins.
Okay, well, that's
Player wins.
love to connect. Feel free.
Pays
All right, we don't have a
player.
Discord. We handle all the art in house. Like,
Place your bets.
did you lose? You did.
I did. Player hand.
Do it. Oh,
There we go.
Banker's hand is 9. Banker's hand wins this round.
you just got kicked out.
Sorry.
See
you
ya.
can't cover the
Good
minimum
job,
bet
Ed. Thanks,
you have
buddy.
to
Get him.
Nice try.
And that's it.
FBI.
We lost again. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap for us today.
Where
We
would you
lost
like to
about
go
6
now?
grand today, so that's awesome.
I love losing money.
But we had a really good time talking about some wild shit, and you can see how this one just kind of goes off the deep end really, really fast. So, anything you want to add before we close it down?
Nah, people, don't sell out your moral values for technology or weapons. Stay strong, be the change you want to see in the world, and do shadow work and keep on keeping on.
Hell yeah, and remember that it's all about the spiritual journey and not the technology journey. So
Yeah, right.
when those decisions present themselves, always pick the spiritual journey over the technology.
Yeah,
journey.
don't get your Elon Musk head chip.
Yeah, I would stay away from the Elon Musk head chip. So,
Stay away from, yeah.
all right, everybody.
This
Well,
signpost will take
thanks
you
for
anywhere
watching.
medicine
Like,
is.
subscribe, all the good stuff. We'll see you Wednesday or Monday for Witcher 3. Wednesday, we are starting Grand Theft Auto 4 for PS3 with both the expansions. And since there's no show on Friday because we'll be at New Jersey HorrorCon down in Atlantic City, we're going to do an episode on Thursday instead. So
Nice.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Witcher on Monday, GTA 4 Wednesday and Thursday. So
Alright.
we'll see everybody soon. Appreciate all the love, support, channel's growing, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya!
Easy.